Good evening and welcome to Owlerton Stadium here in the heart of Sheffield, where tonight the Tigers take on the Ipswich Witches in what is a repeat of the 2023 Premiership final. And as always, we're in fine company of Mr. Tayton and Mr. Nichols. Now, chaps, we were in action a couple of weeks ago, Calv, in Birmingham, a cracking meeting down to the last heat and a touch controversial.
Yeah, there was some controversy involved. I think probably it went the right way. I think Mr. Kurtz, that was involved with Pavlicki, felt a bit aggrieved because he was going so well. We're seeing the incident now. He dives up the inside. There isn't a lot of room. Pavlicki's been around a while. You know, to me, he knew exactly what was going on. But that was a crucial moment because obviously Kurtz has been doing a fantastic job for the Aces. But I would say overall, for our opening night, it was cold, I seem to remember. I was quite warm, but you were cold.
It was absolutely Baltic evening, wasn't it, Scott? It was freezing.
It wasn't pleasant at all.
But an important win for the Brummies. And Scotty, here in October, what a grand final that was, and Sheffield Tigers just overturning an 18-point deficit.
Oh, it's a huge night, and it just highlights the unpredictability of Speedway. You know, we saw that Monday night in the opening meeting where the Brummies overturned the Aces, and yeah, last year, I mean, round leg one here, we can see at Ipswich. I've got to be honest, I thought it was done and dusted. I thought the Witches had done enough, and with the calibre and class of ride they had in their team, you'd have thought they had gone to the victory. But you can see there, the Sheffield Tigers dug deep. A huge turnaround, and obviously you can see what it meant to the team right there.
Yeah, it was incredible celebrations. And Carol, tonight this matchup should be brilliant because you've got some major protagonists in both sides.
Indeed you have. It's top quality on show. Protagonist is a fantastic word, by the way.
He gave one of those a proper hard time before the meeting.
He really did.
I did. I didn't quite know where you found it from. You obviously looking up. You had a list of them you wanted to tick off.
That's a big
meeting
one.
by meeting.
But what we're saying is that you went straight into Emil, didn't you? And you were like...
I did. I mentioned that he wasn't going quite as well as he would have liked. He had a fabulous season last year. He's trying to stitch me up here, I feel. But we had a forthright conversation about it, and he assures me he's going to be much better this evening. But these two teams, so back to your original point, these two teams are red hot. They've got top quality, champions all over the place, and I'm expecting the Ipswich Witches to go really hard. But the Witches haven't got a good record here, have they? They haven't won here in a decade, which is surprising.
Yeah, it should be good because you think you've got the table toppers against the defending champions. So the Premiership has been up and running for a few months now, and this is how the table reads. It is Ipswich Witches at the top. 2 points behind them, Bellevue Aces. Bellevue are in action tonight at the National Speedway Stadium. Sheffield Tigers in third, but they do have meetings in hand. And then it goes Leicester Lions, Oxford Spires, Birmingham Brummies. They've raced more meetings than anyone else. And Kings Lynn Stars at the bottom. Well, at the moment I say, the weather is behaving itself. So let's see what the track is like. Here's Calvin.
Home of the champions, Owlerton. Great to be back here. And, of course, the Ipswich Witches are in town. What a night we have to look forward to. I've made my way down to the first corner. I've got the dirtometer with me, as always. And I'll just take a look right on the inside here. The curb sits quite high here. And they've actually put quite a lot of loose material right there to actually, because they've had some issues with front wheels, that's getting the bikes all out of shape going through these turns. And it is on turns 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Here, about 1.5 meters off the inside, the dirtometer goes in a reasonable amount. So there is a decent amount of material on the track. Middle of the track again is fairly firm, and coming out on the outside here, look at that, plenty of dirt there. And I just sense that at Owlerton here on this big track that the outside line is going to work very well later on. I have inspected the start line. They've actually ripped that up. They've disguised it quite cutely, but underneath the top dressing there's quite a lot of material, so plenty of grip on the run to the first corner. These two teams, of course, we know went head-to-head in the grand final second leg with the home team coming through in flying colours. Ipswich want revenge, and I sense that they're really fired up tonight. Smashing night. Track conditions near enough perfect. We're going to be in for a smashing night.
Kelv, thank you. Let's meet our captains now. They're chatting to Scotty Nichols.
Yeah, thanks, Abby. It's coin toss time. I'm going to come to Sheffield captain first, Carl Howarth. Carl, we often hear team managers say how important it is to get off to a good start. Obviously, part of that good start is the gate choice in heat one. Is it really important to have that choice in gate one here?
I think obviously we've known Sheffield's been placed over the years now where it's become a hard place as an away ride. I think with the starts, they're so crucial. Obviously, we've seen over the years where 1 and 4 have been dominant, 2 and 3 have probably been less dominant. So I think the coin toss can really set your night off on a better start if you win it.
Definitely so, thank you. Jason, vice-captain, standing in for Danny King, obviously injured at the moment. Wish Danny all the best for a speedy recovery, but Sheffield is a hard place to come as an away team. Ipswich's track record here has been a little bit up and down. Do you guys prepare any differently knowing that?
No, we've got no expectations. I think we just got to go out there and try to do a better job than we did in the final. So it's going to be a tough night. We know when we come here, all the Sheffield boys are on it. So we're going to go with a few different things and we'll see where it goes. But hopefully we can win this coin toss.
Well, let's see what happens. That coin toss can happen first and get you to call Jason.
Yep.
Let me get ready.
Tails.
Jason calls tails and comes down heads. So, sorry, Jace. Kyle, are you going to go for choice in gate 1 or heat 15?
We're going to go 2 and 4.
OK, there you go. So the Sheffield Tigers opt for gates 2 and 4, heat 1, which gives the Witches choice in heat 15. Back to you, Abby.
Scotty, thank you. Well, I've mentioned it already this evening. There is another meeting happening tonight. It's at the National Speedway Stadium as Bellevue host Premiership newcomers, Oxford Spires. Here's Dave O with the team news.
Well, Bellevue start tonight second in the league table, and once again they're proving to be very strong at home. They've gone over 50 points in all 3 league matches here so far, and last week's 57-33 win over Birmingham was the biggest scoreline in any Premiership fixture so far this season. But this may well be an interesting test. Newcomers Oxford, a team with plenty of track knowledge, and there's no doubt the key man could be Craig Cook at reserve, currently standing in for the injured Lewis Kerr. He scored an incredible 16 points on his debut at Sheffield recently. Also a big night for Maciej Janowski, who's really yet to show his true form back in UK racing. So lineups for Bellevue, it's Brady Kurtz riding at number 1 in great form so far this season. Rory Dawn goes at 2, number 3 Jamin Lidsey, Ben Cook at 4, Dan Bewley at 5, Connor Mountain at 6, and the rising star Connor Bailey goes at number 7. And for the Oxford Spires, Rowan Tungate, former Bellevue rider, riding at 1, Eric Riss at 2, it's Charles Wright at 3, Maciej Janowski at 4, Captain Chris Harris at 5, that man Craig Cook at 6, and youngster Ashton Belgian rides at number 7. Here in Manchester, it's the Bellevue Aces against the Oxford Spires.
Thanks, Dave. Well, let's meet tonight's team and head to the commentary box where Kelvin tonight is joined by Ollie Allen.
The visitors tonight, the Ipswich Witches, who came close to winning the title last year, but not quite enough. And Jordan Jenkins coming out their rising star down at number 7, going along pretty nicely. So the Ipswich Witches generally are going along pretty nicely. They're at top of the league. Desperate start for them last year, and they just about turned it around. Now, Keenan Rue, the Australian rider, has dropped down into the reserve berth for tonight in the new averages. And Keenan Rue is a rider that came very close to winning the SGP2 World Championship last year, just didn't quite do it. Now, here's a man who is doing rather well. Jason Doyle is leading the World Championship. He won just a couple of nights ago in the Narodowi in Warsaw and is having a fantastic season, and once again is doing a terrific job for the Ipswich Witches. And Danny King is injured, the captain of the Ipswich Witches, so Ryan Douglas, who rides for the Leicester Lions this year, he is coming in as a guest and will be very handy. He goes around this place particularly well. Adam Ellis, of course, who rode for the Sheffield Tigers last year, was released towards the end of the year, but you never know. On the return to a former club, Adam Ellis will be looking to put his best foot forward, that's for sure. Now, Dan Thompson, an interesting rider, really is going very well indeed and is making great strides in the sport, and that's good to see. He's come out of the reserve berth into the main team proper tonight, so we'll keep an eye out for young Dan. And Emil Sayfutinov, who set the league alight last year, arguably the best rider in the league in 23, hasn't had the start he was looking for, but you can never rule him out. And Emil Sayfutinov, of course, is top class. Well, look at the home team. Dan Gilks is the rising star, young Dan. And, once again, will be keen to do well tonight with the cameras in town. Popular chap. Now, there's been an injury and there's a replacement at number 6. Jason Edwards is normally riding for the Sheffield Tigers, and young Luke Colleen comes in here. He rides for the Oxford Cheetahs in the Championship, and he'll be looking to have a big performance tonight. We wish Jason Edwards a speedy recovery. Ty Woofenden has been doing a great job for the Tigers this year, really has been amongst the points pretty much every time he's ridden. Rode very well against Bellevue, I hear, in the Knockout Cup return just very recently, last Thursday night. So Ty, after a disappointing result in the Grand Prix, will be looking for a big performance tonight. Josh Pickering always gives 100%. Never knows when he's beat. He's a fan favourite, that's for sure. And young Joss is doing great. Chris Holder, of course, former world champion, 2012 world champion, and coming into the league back in British Speedway. That's great to see. And Chris is doing a really solid job for the Tigers. It's a smashing lineup. They signed their team very early on. Carl Howarth, another 100% try, the captain of the team. And he'll be... some of his scores have been a little bit hit and miss, but he'll be looking for a great night tonight. But Jack Holder leads the team. Led the World Championship after the first round, just missed out in the semi-finals on Saturday in Poland, but he's rock solid around this track in Owlerton. So there are the two teams for you. It's all set up very nicely indeed. And we are not too far for the action getting underway. Let's get back to Webby.
Well, they are your runners and riders for tonight's meeting. On paper, this stacks up to be an extraordinary meeting. If you want to be part of the conversation, that hashtag tonight, SHEIPS. When we come back, we'll be straight on with the action. See you soon. We are joined by Jason Doyle. Jason, what a weekend. We've had 2 days. Has it registered yet?
No, two hectic days, a lot of emotions. Back to racing again, so no time off. But yeah, I have reflected an amazing weekend, and yeah, can't be happier.
Jason, I think anyone that loves their speedway would have loved you on the top step of the podium, whoever they're backing, because you just show this tenacity, this hunger. And even if I'm thinking about Croatia, you know, you didn't win a heat and then you're on the podium. You just, where does that hunger come from?
I think to prove people wrong. I think a lot of the drive comes to from me wanting to prove that I'm still worthy of being in the Grand Prix. And yeah, waiting 7 years also, it had a lot of fire in me to finally do it, and obviously the emotions come out at the end knowing that it's finally been achieved, and there's still a lot to come.
And when you were on the podium, obviously before we got to the podium, I mean, luckily it happened, you know, after the racing, and you didn't have a tumble during the racing this time.
Yeah, keeping the average up of crashing in a Grand Prix. So as long as I stay on the bike in the meeting and then crash after, I don't care in a final. But yeah, I think that's the first time I've ever flipped the bike doing a wheelie, and also that was the first time I fell off the air fence, so I won't be doing that again.
First for everything, and then that was in front of 55,000 people. If you're going to do it, you might as well do it in good fashion. And then you're there, like you say, it was 2017 in Melbourne, and you're back on the podium. You've got Schmarzlik, who's, you know, wanted to get the win in front of the home crowd. Just that elation and the fact that you're now leading the championship. I know that there's 9 more rounds. But what is that feeling like in that moment where the national anthem is on?
Yeah, it's amazing. I said to Bartek that we know the Polish national anthem that well now, and probably not our own. So it was tough to always go to these Grand Prix and always listen to it, but we always wanted to be on top step. And I think, yeah, it's good for the sport that Bartek is winning for Poland, but also it's not always nice to see other riders.
So now, you know, look, it is a marathon, 9 more rounds, but knowing that you've had such a good start to the season, what does that mean for expectation for the year ahead?
None at all. I think in 2016 I was leading the world title with 1 round to go and I end up 5th. So it's probably a good thing to know that things can change that quick, and it's a long way to go. Like you said, I know it's going to be tough still. I obviously want to make finals all the time, but yeah, I'll cherish that moment on the weekend.
It was just an incredible scene. It was a standout performance, and actually you were commanding from start to finish. Well done.
Thank you so much. Cheers.
Welcome back to Owlerton Stadium. Sheffield Tigers versus Ipswich Witches, a rerun of that 2023 Premiership final. Before we get cracking with Heat 1, just a reminder of the other two-wheel motorsport coming up across the channel. We've got British Superbikes. That's round 3 for them, and they're in Donington Park. You can see it, Eurosport 2 live on Saturday. No rest for the wicked in terms of the Speedway Grand Prix. Will be in Landshut, right the south of Germany, and it is Jason Dorr that's leading the standings. And then the MotoGP, they'll be in Barcelona. It's the Grand Prix of Catalonia, and you can see that the weekend of the 24th to the 26th of May on TNT Sports. But here, the British Speedway, it is time for Heat 1 between Sheffield Tigers and Ipswich Witches.
Thank you very much, Abby, and good evening to everybody. It's a smashing night, no rain, and it's looking forward to a really action-packed night. Ollie, you're alongside me. Great to have you with me again. We had that incredible night last October. If we have anything quite like that tonight, it's going to be a treat for us.
Yeah, you're right. That was a fantastic night of Speedway, and when I saw this fixture coming up, to be honest, I couldn't wait for it. Whether I'm here commentating or watching it on TV, I think it's going to be a great meeting.
Interesting that Carl Howarth chose to go out of gates 2 and 4. What do you read into that?
It was an odd decision for me because he'd openly said that 1 and 3 were better. So maybe he's looking at further down the programme and looking at the later races, maybe.
Well, let's hope that works out for him because he was in charge at that point. So it's an interesting lineup here for the opening race of the evening. As I say, we've got nigh on perfect track conditions. Sheffield actually won really nicely in a super heat on Thursday of last week against the Bellevue Aces. That was a big result for them. But we're looking forward to tonight. Dan Thompson off the inside in the yellow helmet colour. Carl Howarth out of gate number 2 in blue. Emil Saifutinov from gate number 3 in white, and Jack Holder off the outside in the yellow helmet colour. Emil Saifutinov, who set the league alight last year, Ollie. Not quite at his best so far, but you sense it's not too far away.
Yeah, you know it's coming. You don't lose that overnight. So I think he's really a key performer tonight for Ipswich.
I can't disagree with that. Emil's on fire and Jason Doyle does his business, it could be quite a tussle with the Tigers. Of course, the Tigers are the champions. Champions at the highest level for the very first time in their history. It really was a very special evening for them last October. And this is a revenge mission, you would suggest, for the Ipswich Witches. So here we go. Opening race of the evening, heat number 1, the tapes are up and we're into the first corner. Young Dan Thompson's made a lovely start, but look at Jack Holder. Holder coming round the outside. He roars into the lead with Thompson hanging on in second place. Carl Howarth there back in third. Emil Saifutinov has missed the start from gate number 3, but Jack Holder in front.
Great start from Jack, continuing his form from the first 2 Grand Prix, and a great ride from Dan Thompson, hugging that inside and holding Carl Howarth off at the moment.
Indeed he is. Thompson, who's come out of the reserve berth and has forced his way into the main body of the team. This is a real confidence-boosting ride from him. Holder's away, he's comfortable. Keep your eyes on Saifutinov. Saifutinov coming on strong, looking for a way through, trying to force Carl Howarth. Just over a lap to go. Holder's got the race. Saifutinov now switching to the outside. Now back to the inside, but there's no way through. He's got speed, but just can't find a way past Carl Howarth. Looking like he's going to fail to score in the opening race. Yeah, he's not going to quite get there. Super ride from Holder in front. He picks up the win, and it's a 4-2 to the home team off gates 2 and 4. But all the action was there with Saifutinov, who tried awfully hard for nothing.
Yeah, really good ride from Dan Thompson in particular there to keep that second place. He had Carl Howarth close behind him. He couldn't afford to make a mistake. He had to keep that inside line, and in Heat 1 at Sheffield, it's difficult to use the outside line. Here we go from the start. Jack Holder makes a good start from gate 4. It's not easy from there in the first race. There's no established dirt line, so he's got to make a good start, which he did. And then you see Dan Thompson in second, riding a clever ride. You know, it's sort of reflective of his scores so far this year. Really good ride, confidence-boosting ride, and for him to come out of that with 2 points is a great start for him.
Yeah, super start. The home team are off to an advantage with a 2-point lead after the opening race. Nice ride from Jack Holder, who has showed a clean pair of heels to the opposition. Saifutinov will never try harder in a race and not score a point. Really did come on strong, but that man who is joint second in the World Championship chase with Bartosz Szmarslik, Jack Holder, and he was there. We didn't get a result there, but I'll run through it for you. It's 3 points to Jack Holder, 2 points for Dan Thompson, 1 point for Carl Howarth, and Emil Sayfutunov failed to score in the opening race, and as a consequence, the Tigers are 4 points to 2 to the visitors, the Ipswich Witches. Heat number 2, then, riders are out on track. We have a change to the programme here with young Jason Edwards suffering an injury over the weekend, and young Luke Colleen from the Oxford Cheetahs coming in. It will be a big opportunity for him. I don't know too much about Luke. What about yourself, Ollie?
No, it's my first time watching him tonight. So I was hoping you were going to be the expert on him, to be honest.
Well, I know that he rides for Oxford,
yeah.
And I had a quick chat with his teammate, of course, who's working with us tonight, Scotty Nichols. There he is on the inside, and he said he's got quite a nice style, and he's a rider that's making his way in the sport. He's actually English, but he lives in Perth in Western Australia. I'm quite envious of that. The sun shines there. And 1 or 2 running repairs here. We've got Keenan Rue. Now, Keenan Rue dropping down to reserve. He could be quite handy for the Witches tonight.
Absolutely, yeah. He's a strong rider to have in that reserve berth. You know, he can be used a lot throughout the meeting in that reserve position. So I think, to me, that gives Ipswich a little bit of the edge reserve-wise with him being down there.
Luke Colleen will go from the inside in the red helmet colour. Keenan Rue out of gate number 2 in white. Dan Gilks, gate number 3 in blue. And Jordan Jenkins off the outside in yellow. Reserves race, but these points count just as much, and if a reserve get hot, then the team manager can use them up to 7 times. So if Keenan Rue or one of these boys really does start going, and one of the riders in the main body of the team, all of a sudden things can change. So here we go, second race of the evening. Home team got off to a strong start. The taps are up and we're into that first corner. Gate 1 once again working well. Luke Colleen having a sneaky look over his right shoulder, but he's been passed by both of the Witches there. And Keenan Rue come charging around the outside of him. And into second place we've got Jordan Jenkins looking really good. And this is exactly what the Ipswich Witches would have been looking for.
Yeah, fantastic start from the Ipswich boys. And it was gate 2 and 4 actually, which, you know, maybe Carl Howarth did know what he was on about when he chose those gates, because that is a fantastic start from those two there.
Yeah, it was indeed. Dan Gilks has now come into 3rd place for the Sheffield Tigers, but I've got to say Keenan Rue is a country mile out in front. He is comfortable, and as I say, Keenan Rue has been riding in the main body of the team for some considerable time now. So down at reserve, this really just shows you how fast he can be. Second place is being held on to now nicely by Jordan Jenkins, and this is going to be great. Richie Hawkins, the team manager of the Ipswich Witches, will be pleased with this. And it'll be all square after 2 races. Keenan Rue, comfortable winner. But the important statistic there is the fact that it was a big 5-1. Maximum score, 7 points now to 5 to the Tigers. And all of a sudden it switches around. And that man, very impressive in his opening ride.
Really, really good ride for him. It was a good start, good first bend, but the most impressive thing for me was his speed. He looked smooth, he looked fast, and his line choice was very clever. He was on the edge of the dirt the whole race. He let the bike run, wasn't overturning it, which is really key here. You don't want to slide the bike too much.
Indeed it is. Keenan Rue 3 points out in front. Jordan Jenkins back in second place, 2 points for him. Dan Gilks coming through into third, 1 point, and Luke Colleen, after a sharp start, fails to score. We'll watch it again. Good start initially from Colleen on the inside.
Yeah, good start from gate 1 again, but Keenan he gets out into that dirt line first, that darker part of the track where you can see the dirt's built up. He runs into that, and then he uses that the whole race. If you watch as the race goes on, you can see Keenan. He's probably 2 meters wider than everyone else. He's on the edge of the dirt, and he just pulls away as the race goes on. There, perfect example there.
Yeah. I did, when I did my track report, I did notice the old dirtometer going in a fair way on the outside of that first corner, and I sensed that it could make a bit of grip, and it's working early in the meeting, a little earlier than I thought, but for young Keenan Rue, he looked very impressive indeed. Richie Hawkins, as I say, will be pretty keen to have a strong reserve. It can make a huge impact on a meeting. So the visitors now 2 points off after 2 heats. Heat number 3, now this is a good lineup here. Really packed full of plenty of quality. Adam Ellis is an interesting one for me when he's coming in, where he rode here last year, just didn't get it to grips with it last year at all and was released, but coming back, you sense he might want to put his best foot forward.
Absolutely, it's one of those, whenever you get released by a club, if you get released by a club, then when you come back, there's an element of revenge in your mind. You know, you want to come back and you want to show your ex-team manager what you can do. So I think Adam could be in for a good night. He's got gate 1, which has worked well so far. So let's see.
Simon Stead looking on keenly, the team manager for the Sheffield Tigers. Adam Ellis will go from the inside in the white helmet colour. Josh Pickering out of gate number 2 in blue. Ryan Guest, the guest, coming out of gate number 3 in yellow. And Chris Holder off the outside in the red helmet colour. Smashing to see Chris Holder back in British Speedway. A long time away, enjoying it. I sense coming up here with his brother, it's ideal for him.
Yeah, they're a close-knit family. You could see that after the after Jack's Grand Prix results. So I think those two racing together in the same team is fantastic for the pair of them, and what a bonus for British Speedway.
Now, Ryan Douglas, they all fancy him. They say that he's quite an astute guest. He goes around this place nicely, rides for the Leicester Lions now, because he was a Wolverhampton Wolf before. Wolves no longer in existence, but half the team went across to the Leicester Lions, and Douglas has started the season pretty well. And he's coming out of gate 3. I did speak to Jason Doyle. He said gate 3 really isn't very good. Didn't like it at all. He was moaning about it. I said, what have you got to moan about? You're leading the World Championship. You should be full of the joys of spring.
Nothing to complain about at all.
No, he's going great guns. But he did say that, and Emil Saifutinov did have that in his first ride, and so it proved to be quite a challenge. Here we go, heat number 3. Riders forward. Start Marshall looks like he's pretty happy. He moves away. Green light is on. Takes her up and there into that first corner, and it's Adam Ellis. He gets there round the outside. Whoa, smashing ride round the outside there from Chris Holder. Really made that worse. Ellis is hanging on in second place. Up into third now comes that's Josh Pickering through into third place with Ryan Douglas out the back. But I tell you what, Chris Holder out in front looks impressive.
Yeah, great start from Chris. A good run from gate 1 as well. 1 and 4, interestingly enough, again made good starts. Great battle at the back there between Pickering and Douglas. Douglas now creeping up the inside of Pickering. Is he going to make it stick? Yes, he does.
He's there. Got to say, Pickering just lifted violently, but Pickering, brave ride once again round the outside of Douglas. He gets himself back into third place. Wasn't going to take that line. Did make a mistake. He lifted, and that allowed Douglas through. Got to say that Adam Ellis is comfortable in second place with Holder pulling further and further away. Douglas still not throwing the towel in. One last blast through turns 3 and 4. Think Pickering's going to hang on. Yes, he has. Holder's won nicely. A heat advantage for the home team, but fantastic speedway just for 1 point there. And that just epitomised Pickering, didn't it, Ollie, about how he battled back?
Yeah, the pair of them, actually, I think Pickering and Douglas, that tells you an awful lot about their character, the type of riders they are. It was a tremendous battle at the back there. Neither of them gave an inch, and really good ride by Pickering to get the point in the end.
It's all square, 9 points apiece after 3 heats. Smashing speedway we're witnessing here at Owlerton, the home of the champions. Chris Holder, impressive, fast out in front, 3 points for him. Adam Ellis, solid away in second place, 2 points, 1 point for Pickering, and Ryan Douglas misses out in heat number 3. We'll watch it again, Ollie, but Holder makes a smashing effort early, but the racing was all behind him.
He does. He just gets to that dirt line first, a bit like Keenan Ruin in the race before. Adam made a good start from gate 1, but he just couldn't get into that sort of faster part of the track early enough in the corner. And once Chris got in front, you can see he's riding that wide line, he's out in that dirt. And here's the battle at the back. So Pickering lifts, Douglas up the inside. And at that point, I thought Douglas had it. Here we go. Pickering on the back wheel. Douglas drives up the inside. And at this point, it looked like Douglas had sort of the third position in the bag. But now Pickering moves to the outside, coming into turn 1. Puts it in the dirt. He's on that fast part of the track and sweeps around him. Brilliant ride.
Yeah, great response there from Josh Pickering. Not a surprise, but typifies the type of fella he is. He just races for all 4 laps, but Chris Holder, class personified out in front, very similar to his brothers performing in heat number 1 when they came from the outside. I did notice that Ryan Douglas went nowhere off of gate number 3 there. Clearly, the surface there is a disadvantage. Emil Saifutinov suffered as well.
Yeah, that's obviously why Kyle avoided those gates. So he does know what he's doing.
We'll be hoping it turns around a little bit later on. Another big hitter out here. 2 big hitters in truth. Line-up heat number 4 then. Jordan Jenkins out of gate number 1 in yellow. Dan Giltz out of gate number 2 in blue. Jason Doyle, the World Championship leader, out of gate number 3 in white. And Ty Woofenden off the outside in red, a 3-time former World Speedway champion. Now, it is so good to see these quality riders back in British Speedway.
Oh, I love it. It's so good. Yeah, it's brilliant for for all the fans to see like riders of this calibre again in the British League is fantastic, and what a battle this could be and should be.
Yeah, I fancy that Ty will have a better run of it. Looking at the evidence of the first 3 races, Gate 3 doesn't look great, but Simon Stead will still be keenly looking on. Nothing between these two outside, maybe nervously looking on, but nonetheless, this is a great lineup for heat number 4. Jason Doyle, of course, won in spectacular style during the meeting, and then afterwards he actually had a crash afterwards, which I don't think he was particularly proud of, but nonetheless it was one of his better performances at the very highest level. Ty Woofenden just faded there. He started strongly but faded away, but has been in terrific form for the Tigers this year. Really settled in very nicely indeed. Takes up heat number 4, and we're underway. Inside gate once again has worked nicely there. They hit the first corner, but look at that from Woofenden. We've seen that on 3 occasions, but all of a sudden that gate number 3 really is problematic with Doyle out the back. Let's say into second place comes oh, it's a terrific ride there from Jordan Jenkins coming through into second place. It's tight with second and third, and Doyle still hasn't landed a blow, although he's about to. He's come charging up the inside.
Yeah, great ride from Doyle. You knew it was coming. You knew that Dan Gilks would be under a lot of pressure. It just goes to show you how bad K3 must be for someone like Jason to miss the start that badly. But Woofy's looking fantastic in front.
Indeed he is. Got to say, Woofenden on the edge of the dirt. You spoke about it earlier, Ollie. It's working a treat, and Woofenden is really enjoying himself. Got to say now, Doyle coming through into second place. Jordan Jenkins is going to help him home, I'm sure, as Dan Gilks is not a threat at this stage, and it's a damage limitation there for the Witches, with Woofenden showboating there at the end. Smashing ride from him. But no real damage done for the Witches when you consider how tough gate number 3 has been in the first 4 races. But nonetheless, you've had the 2 Holder boys and Woofenden coming from gate number 4 and just dominating the heats.
Yeah, very true. Great start from Ty there from gate 4, and the key for him there was getting across Doyle early, and once he did, he, fresh track and off he went.
So Woofenden just making his way back to the pit area. We're just going to watch the conclusion of the race for second and third. It's either way, it's 3-all, with Jason Doyle just shoaling. It looks like maybe. Oh, I tell you what, that's very close. Maybe Jordan Jenkins may have just got that, but referee Mick Bates will have to make a decision, but nonetheless they're still called 3 points, and it's 12 points each to the both teams. So we can confirm the result for you very shortly now. Ty Woofenden 3 points, Jason Doyle was second place, 2 points for him. Jordan Jenkins 1 point, and Dan Gilks misses out in heat number 4.
There's the start again. Ty Woofenden, good start from gate 4. He got over Doyley early. I think Jenkins could have moved over on the first bend, but he didn't. He opted to stay tight, and from then on, Woofy was clear. Now, the battle at the back, you can see Dan Gilks pulling all sorts of shapes, and he starts to come under pressure here. That's where Doyley dives up the inside of him, and clever ride from Doyle. Once he got to third and caught his teammate, he was happy to sit behind him and protect that second place. And like you said, there's Woofy showboating over the finish line. Great action shot there.
So Simon Stead and Jordan and Sue Jack Holder just having a chat. But for the moment, we can pop back down to Abby in the pits.
Cal, thank you. Well, it is a close contest between these two sides, as we expected. Any thoughts, any questions you've got for Scott Nichols, make sure you use that hashtag tonight, which is SheIps. And if you want to watch the live action that is coming from their National Speedway Stadium, then join Discovery Plus now, and that is Bellevue against Oxford. When we come back, we've got some exciting news about the British final.
And welcome to our coverage on Discovery Plus. Bellevue against Oxford from the National Speedway Stadium. Here is heat number 1, and Brady Kurtz, the rider in red, the Bellevue number 1, in such good form so far this season, making it round the outside of Eric Riss in yellow, making a fast start for the Oxford Spires. Rowan Tungate in third place there for a 3-3. Here's the action from the reserves race, heat number 2. Sharp start by Connor Mountain in red off the inside. It's Craig Cook in white in second. The run round the outside is Ashton Belgian battling with Connor Bailey. The two rising stars going at it on turns 3 and 4, and Connor Bailey coming through for third place to put the home side in front with a 4-2. Heat number 3 gets underway, and a good start off the inside by Charles Wright. Jamin Lidsey in red looks to go round the outside. Cutting back is Ben Cook in blue, and up the inside in yellow, Matt Janowski trying to force his way inside Jamin Lidsey. Lidsey back around the outside, but Janowski is really strong there off the fourth bend, comes through into third place. Charles Wright out in front under pressure from Ben Cook. Matt Janowski in third place, in Oxford currently holding a 4-2 to level the scores here as things stand. Good ride by Charles Wright, knows every inch of the National Speedway Stadium circuit. Jamin Lidsey in red, unbeaten last week against Birmingham on this track, trying to get on terms there with Janowski, who's back round the outside on turns 1 and 2, and Janowski in fact now trying to gain some ground on Ben Cook. Charles Wright, impressive ride by him. Charles Wright over Ben Cook. Magic Janowski in third place with Lidsey at the back, can't quite get it going. Ben Cook in blue has been impressive in recent home matches for the Aces. He's trying to get on terms here with Charles Wright, but Charles Wright round the final turn, and Charles Wright will take the win for a 4-2 to the Oxford Spires, and that levels the scores. In number 4, Dan Bewley and Connor Bailey. It's a messy start, and in fact Belgian's been left. A good start by Connor Bailey in blue, Dan Bewley around the outside, Chris Harris in white trying to split them up, and he can't do so at the moment. Bellevue holding a 5-1 here in heat 4. Good start by Connor Bailey. Referee let things run after a really messy start. It was Belgian who was caught out, and Bellevue currently hold a 1-2 situation, and Dan Bewley here in red sitting in with his teammate Connor Bailey, and so far Chris Harris can find no way through. This could be the first big move of the meeting so far with the Bellevue Aces team riding. Bewley looking over his shoulder, knows where his teammate is. No real threat coming from Chris Harris, and Bellevue looking set for the first 5-1 of the meeting. Connor Bailey out in front, the British under-21 champion. He race leads from Dan Bewley. Harris in third, beginning to gain some ground here as they start the last lap, but still Bellevue on this 5-1 with Bailey, and Bewley who lifts off turn 2 and almost clatters into his teammate there, but they get away with it, and they come round the final 2 turns, and it will be a Bellevue 5-1 in heat 4. Connor Bailey and Dan Bewley over Chris Harris. Bellevue lead Oxford by 14 points to 10.
Welcome back to Owlerton Stadium. The score after 4 heats, it's 12 points apiece between the Tigers and the Witches. Well, before the break, I mentioned that we had some exciting news about the British final. First of all, the date, mark it in your calendar, June the 8th. It is a Saturday, and for the first time, we've got all 3 British Grand Prix riders competing. A stellar lineup. They're going to be against, of course, 13 of the other best British riders in the country. And remember, there's an automatic wild card for the winner to then compete in the British Grand Prix in Cardiff. So make sure you make a note, June the 8th. And tickets will go on sale on the Bellevue website from 9 a.m. tomorrow. Well, we were in Warsaw at the weekend, and Scott Nichols caught up with 2 of those British protagonists.
Dan, you are the defending British champion, but looks like the field stepped up a bit this year.
Yeah, we finally decided to come and play. So, yeah, good to see, and yeah, it's always a good meeting. And you know, a little bit different this year being on a Saturday. I feel like it's, you know, it's always a good crowd, but you know, people from all over, it gives them more chance to travel. So yeah, I think it'll be even bigger.
Definitely so. Robert, sounds like a bit of fighting talk there from Dan. You're not racing the UK at the moment, but you have won the British title before. What it means to you to lift it again?
No, I haven't been racing the UK, but I definitely know the Manchester track well. I've got the gold medal with the team there. So yeah, I know the place, and that'll be good practice for Speedway Nations, and definitely looking forward to getting the elbows out and yeah, maybe once again lift that trophy. It'd definitely mean a lot to come back and do that.
That's Dan and Robert. And we've also got Ty. We're just looking at the dates, 9 years ago since you last competed in the British final.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting old.
What's the competition like between obviously your competitors in the Grand Prix, and then your teammates in the Extra Liga, and then you're going head to head now in the British final?
Yeah, it's good. We all push each other. So whether that's in the Grand Prix or the World Cup, we're all kind of pushing each other on in some sort of way. But yeah, looking forward to doing it. Obviously, yeah, been 9 years. Wow. I don't like hearing stats like that. But anyway, yeah, looking forward to it.
The fans now are in for a treat because they always want the top names there. We've had, obviously, Dan Bewley's defending champion. Robert Lambert, it was a long time ago, 6 years for him as well since he's competed. And then you've got the 3 titles. You've got to be there. You've got to be there June the 8th. Everyone's going to look forward to that.
Yeah, it's going to be great. And nice little warm-up for the World Cup as well. So we'll see who's on form and, who gets that 100% team spot and who's the third rider. And yeah, like I said, all these little events always pushes on because, we'll all be racing that, want to win that, but then we'll be thinking World Cup, and then, you want to get the win over Dan or Rob to the Grand Prix, and but it's good fun. We have good camaraderie between us all, and it's a pleasure to hang out with them boys and race against them.
That's an interesting point. I hadn't thought about that, about how high the stakes are in terms of Speedway of Nations at the National Speedway Stadium as well, which is a brilliant track. It is,
and everyone likes riding there, and it's a pretty easy track, so I guess everyone can go quit there as well.
Ty, thank you, and good luck for the rest of the evening. A great last heat from Ty. Let's now get the latest from Dave Rowe in Bellevue.
This is the first key action of the meeting in heat number 4 because the scores were 9 points apiece after 3, but Bellevue on a 5-1 with Connor Bailey and Dan Bewley over Chris Harris in heat number 4. We've seen Brady Kurtz win heat 1, Connor Mountain win heat 2 for a 4-2. Oxford hit back in heat 3 with Charles Wright winning a 4-2. Awkward moment for Dan Bewley, almost clattering his teammate, but they got away with that okay, and they brought it home for a 5-1 over Chris Harris, the first maximum of the meeting so far. So 4 heats gone at the National Speedway Stadium. It's Bellevue 14, Oxford 10.
OK, let's continue now with the action here in Sheffield. At the moment, it is so close. Heat 5, and back to the commentators.
Thanks very much. Looked like Abby was caught out there just for a moment. It was all a bit of a rush, but she's absolutely spot on. It is 12 points apiece to both teams. And no real surprise, Ollie, that this is going to be a tight night.
Yeah, it's going to be. I think it's going to be like this throughout. It's been interesting so far to see how the gate positions are working, and I think we'll now start to see a little bit of a switch. I think Ipswich will get those gates a little bit more now, so we should maybe see some more Ipswich race winners.
Well, they'll be hoping so. Line up then for heat number 5. Chris Holder on the inside, a terrific winner first time out. He's in the red helmet colour. Dan Thompson rode strongly in his first ride. Gate number 2 in yellow. Josh Pickering out of gate number 3 in blue, and Emil Saifutinov off the outside in the white helmet colour. Could be a different story this time with Emil Saifutinov, who failed to score in his first ride out of gate number 3. Really did struggle, but gate 4's been pretty productive so far.
Yeah, I think Emil will have his eye on that dirt line on the first bend. He'll head straight there, and I think what we will see here is a race between Chris Holder on gate 1 and Emil on gate 4 to see who can get to that dirt line first. I think that's key.
Richie Hawkins looking on. Of course, it was a tough night for him when he was last up here in October when it was drizzling all night. It was a dramatic night of Speedway. It's tight tonight, it's level pegging. The Witches have had such a strong start to the season as well. They topped the table, 13 points. Last year, it's very different indeed. So here we are, back to racing. Heat number 5, takes up, and they go roaring into the first corner, and it's Holder who's made a smashing start. Emil Saifutinov alongside his teammate through that first corner. Dan Thompson once again fast away. Saifutinov coming through into second place. Thompson in third. Pickering is out the back, but Chris Holder turning the style on here out of gate number 1, Ollie.
Great start for Chris. He got to that dirt line first. He's riding in it now, and at the moment Emil looks like he's got no answer, but at the back you can see Josh Pickering. He's putting an awful lot of pressure onto Thompson, But at the moment, Thompson looks good.
Thompson hanging tough in third place, but I tell you what, Chris Holder, this is vintage Chris Holder out in front. Emil Sayfutdinov just cannot get to the Australian. He's got just over a lap to go, and this will be a fantastic win for him. Got to say, Dan Thompson coming under huge pressure from Josh Pickering in fourth place. It'll be a very useful point for the Ipswich Witches because it'll be a shared heat. He's just got one last blast through the last corner, but Holder unbeaten, fantastic. And Dan Thompson also holds on for third place. Superb speedway. Got to say, Chris Holder looked terrific out in front.
Yeah, brilliant start from gate one. Very sort of decisive first corner. He knew where he was going. He went there. He got there before Emil, and that was it. The race was done for him after that. But fantastic ride from Dan Thompson in third.
Was indeed. Chris Holder riding out of his skin tonight. 2 rides, 2 wins, 3 points for him. Emil Sayfutdinov back in second place, 2 points. Dan Thompson a solid third place there, very useful, 1 point for him. And Josh Pickering misses out in heat number 5. Terrific speedway once again. Nothing to choose between the two teams, but Holder really was a class apart here.
Yeah, brilliant start from him from gate one, and he went out to that dirt line, got there first. And after that, he checked out really, and that's no mean feat over someone like Emil. Emil's fast everywhere he goes, and like you said, vintage Chris Holder. And there you can see the battle at the back between Dan Thompson and Pickering, and that is a really good point for Dan Thompson. He's been on good form this year. To hold off someone like Josh Pickering round Owlerton is a really good ride, great confidence booster for him.
Indeed it was. And as I say, it was important because it kept the heat all square with a 3-all, so it's still 15 points. Nothing to choose between these two teams, but for Chris Holder, clearly delighted with that. And the fans in Britain will be really keen to see him riding so well. It's been a great return to British Speedway for Chris Holder, who was a world champion in 2012, has had some injury problems in the subsequent times and spent some time away from riding in Britain, but joined the club last year and is in from the start this time around in 2024, so it's going along very nicely indeed. Heat number 6, will we see the deadlock broken this time? Jason Doyle will go from the inside in the white helmet colour. Jack Holder out of gate number 2 in red. Gate number 3 in yellow is Keenan Rue and Carl Howarth off the outside in blue. What a match-up with the two Aussies on the inside.
Yeah, it's going to be the 2 World Championship, like 1 and 2 there on gates 1 and 2, so that you can expect fireworks going into the first bend from those two.
Well, I'll tell you what, there was a race on Saturday night where there's no doubt that Jason Doyle was quite forceful with Jack Holder, and words were exchanged afterwards. I'm sure they've all kissed and made up now, but it was a really tough race. But then World Championship Speedway is tough, and I don't think that Jason was making any apologies, but it was a terrific race to witness, that's for sure. Keenan Rue was also out here, so we've got 3 Australians in heat number 6, and Carl Howarth there, who's in the blue helmet colour, who is always charging hard. He's got the outside gate, so that might be proved to be quite handy for him, particularly on the run round the first corner. We're taking a little bit of time to settle down. Riders coming forward now. As I say, it's 15 points apiece, so nothing to choose here. It's flip-flopped a little bit, but the last couple of races have been shared, so will we see something different this time? Tapes up, and Doyle's made a really good start on the inside. Carl Howarth coming around the outside. Jack Holder's on the inside, but Doyle this time fires himself to the front. Keenan Rue, his teammate, is at the back. Now, can Jack Holder chase down his compatriot out in front? But Jason Doyle clearly much happier from the inside gate.
Yeah, great start from Jason out into that dirt on the first bend, very much like Chris Holder did. And you can see he's now riding on that wide line, and there's not a lot Chris can do about it, Jack can do about it in second place. But at the back you can see Keenan Rue is putting Kyle Howarth under a lot of pressure. He's using the whole track, he's going inside, he's switching, going outside, switching back to the inside, and Kyle can't rest for a second.
Well, what a ride this is from Jason Doyle, the World Championship leader. He came through over gate number 3, picked up a couple of points, but he's looking fabulous out there. But it's a shared heat once again. The deadlock doesn't appear to be broken here, with Carl Howarth coming under all sorts of pressure from Keenan Rue. But I tell you what, we're out of the last corner, and Jason Doyle is in fine form there. He lowers the colours of Jack Holder in their second outing and did it pretty comfortably, in truth. He showed a great turn of speed And once he hit the front, there was no stopping him. And a strong ride from Kyle Howarth, and it needed to be because Keenan Roux was really lurking there and putting lots of pressure on. But for Jason Doyle, that was a really impressive ride.
Yeah, great ride from him. It wasn't quite the battle we expected. It was a brilliant start from Jason. He was bike lengths clear going into the first bend.
3 points for Doyle, 2 for Jack Holder, 1 for Kyle Howarth, and Keenan Roux fails to score in heat number 6.
You can see Kyle Howarth on gate 4. Doesn't make a bad start, probably lifts a little bit too much, but Doyle rockets out from gate 1. He got one thing on his mind on the first bend. He's straight out into that darker part of the track, the deeper dirt there. That's where the traction is. He gets out there, gets his wheels in line, and from then on, he checks out. Comfortable ride for Holder in second. Here we go again. Howarth from gate 4. Doesn't quite make it. You've got to try and get to that dirt before the guy on gate 1. He doesn't. You're then getting the roost down the back straight. His teammate gets in front of him. And then after that, it was sort of damage limitation really, and just had to hold on for that third place.
Indeed, but that man, no such troubles for him. The inside gate working a treat, and he hit the front, and showed a clean pair of heels, enjoying his speedway here this evening, as are the crowd. This is a tense affair, nothing to choose between the two teams after 6 heats. And I must say, I've got to say that this is not easy to see which way this is going to go. Good line up here. I would say on paper the visitors possibly just a little stronger this time.
Yeah, I would say so, yeah. A little bit more strength in depth in this race. Gates 2 and 4 for Ipswich, so yeah, Dougie's got to try and do something from gate 4. It's going to be difficult. Ty Wolfenden's got gate 1, and he's going to head straight out to that outside. Yeah, it could be another 3-3. I can see here.
Line up for heat number 7 then. Ty Wolfenden off the inside in red. Adam Ellis out of gate number 2 in white. Luke Colleen gate number 3 in blue, and Ryan Douglas off the outside in yellow. As I say, it's been shared heats all the way in the last 3 outings. Ty Wolfenden was a very impressive winner when he came from gate 4. He now switches to gate number 1, but we've just seen Chris Holder win very well from there, and Jason Doyle, so it's certainly an opportunity to do so. But Ryan Douglas, if he gets his nose in front here, he will not be frightened to win, will he? He will show lots of speed.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, bravery's not an issue. You know, if Douglas hits the front, you can expect him to ride in that dirt for the 4 laps, and it will be a real battle for Ty to do anything about it.
Yep. Big fast track here at Owlerton. It's a big D shape. You pretty much ride nearly flat out all the way round. It's a track that's been here for a long time. They rode for a long time in the 2nd tier of British Speedway, but came back up into the top tier, and as I say, last year was the first time they'd won at the very highest level. So, and I know that Simon Stead and the troops will be very keen to do the same again this year. Very competitive league. 2 new teams in, of course, with Oxford and Birmingham coming into the league. Plenty of excitement, lots of racing to come throughout the summer. Here we go then, heat number 7. Tapes are up, and Wolfenden's made a great start from that inside gate. He just goes straight to the dirt. It's tight coming out of the first turn. Adam Ellis just couldn't block the move, but Wolfenden had the speed, had the momentum, and charges to the front. Douglas is coming through into, well, 2nd place just about. He gets the better of Adam Ellis, but Wolfenden, I can't see him being stopped.
No, great ride from Ty Wolfenden. Good start from the inside, moved out quickly into that dirt. Ellis tried to switch back, but Ty was gone, and now you can just see the Ipswich boys filling those 2nd and 3rd places and securing this 3-3.
And guess what? I think you might be right. Your prediction, another 3-all on the cards. Wolfenden, despite a mechanical failure, he's going to win this race very comfortably indeed. He looks majestic on the bike, on the edge of the dirt. Look at that. That is skill personified. Can't just do that without knowing exactly what you're doing. He's a long way out in front. Douglas and Adam Ellis coming through in 2nd and 3rd, but Wolfenden, well, that was class. And that's why he's won 3 world titles in the past. Brilliant ride from him. He got away from the inside, hit the dirt, and there was no stopping him.
Yeah, great ride there from Ty. Like you said, precision riding. He knew he put the bike exactly where he wanted to, never looked out of control. You know, really showed his class there.
Indeed he did. He makes his way back to the pits, and we'll see the result of heat number 7. Ty Wolfenden, 3 points for him. Ryan Douglas coming through into second place. 2 points out of Mellis back in third. 1 point for him. And Luke Colleen, he misses out. He's having a tough night, young Luke, but it's a big experience and a big step up for him.
Great start there from Ty Wolf, and you see check his shoulder going into the first bend to see if anyone was there. They weren't. He's gone out to the outside. Clever move by Adam on the first bend. Tried to cut back and maybe close Ty coming off the corner, but couldn't get across there quick enough. But Ty, once he hit the front, looked so good. I mean, the real class shown there by him, just to hit the same line lap after lap, no mistakes. You don't do that by accident. That is years of being a top performer.
Yep, that is no doubt about that, and we have seen plenty of that, but you could sense he was also enjoying it. When you ride like that and you're enjoying it, Speedway's an easy job, it's an enjoyable job. So it's 21 points apiece. Right, let's get some more reaction. Let's get down to Abby.
Calvin, thank you. I can tell you, as always, we have the monitor down here in the pits, and Ty was just watching the replay there. He does have a smile on his face, so you could be exactly right there. He's just enjoying his Speedway for Speedway, and it's showing out on track. Any questions for Scotty Nichols or for the boys in the commentary box, use the hashtag #Sheeps. Remember, if you want to watch the other match that's happening tonight, it is Bellevue against Oxford, and you can watch that on Discovery Plus. And we'll be back with the action here in Sheffield after this.
Heat 5 at the National Speedway Stadium, 14-10 in Bellevue's favour. Jamin Lidsey and Ben Cook go up against Rowan Tungate and Eric Riss. And a good start there by the Oxford duo. Riss is fast away in yellow, and round the outside goes Rowan Tungate in white, with Ben Cook trying to split them up in blue. Looking good here so far for the Oxford Spies, but good ride by Ben Cook around turn 3 and 4. The rider in blue splits the Oxford combination. It's Rowan Tungate out in front. Had a season with Bellevue back in 2016. He knows the circuit very well indeed, and Tungate race leads from Ben Cook in second place. Riss in third, who's done a good job since joining Oxford as a replacement for Nikolai Clinty, trying to come back through on the inside, and this is good so far for Oxford to cut the gap from 4 to 2 points as Tungate stretches clear out in front. Ben Cook in second place with Eric Riss third, and Jamin Lidsey, who had such a good meeting here last week, so far can't get things together tonight. Rowan Tungate certainly could. Good starts by the Oxford riders, and Ben Cook thrusting away in second place, trying to find a way through. Rowan Tungate so far covering all the angles. Cook will try and turn back off the final bend, but it's a win for Rowan Tungate. Second place Ben Cook, third Eric Riss, and Oxford cut the gap. It's now 16 points to 14. Here we go with Heat 6, Brady Kurtz and Norrick Ladorn against Chris Harris and Craig Cook. Away they go, and a good start by Chris Harris off the inside gives Brady Kurtz a nudge. That might allow Craig Cook to come through on the inside. Brady Kurtz trying to turn back now on Chris Harris on the third bend. Harris and Kurtz wheel to wheel up there, and Kurtz goes charging through, and he gets the advantage now over Harris with Craig Cook in third place and Bladorn out the back. It is a 3-3 situation as Brady Kurtz has the advantage. Harris in second place, made a really good start from the inside, Chris Harris, but Kurtz was so strong up on turns 3 and 4, and he leads now clearly from Harris in second place. Craig Cook in third with Bladorn out the back, and Oxford packing the places here, but there's no stopping Brady Kurtz, the home captain, the home number 1, looking set for his second race victory of the meeting. Harris in second place, Craig Cook in third. Bladorn, who ran a last place first time out, looking set to do the same here in Heat 6, so the shared heat will maintain a 2-point margin here between the sides, and Kurtz didn't quite make the start. It was a tough first bend, but he got his way through against Chris Harris, and Brady Kurtz here wins Heat 6 from Chris Harris with Craig Cook in third place. The gap is still 2 points with 6 gone. Bellevue 19, Oxford 17. On we go to Heat 7, Dan Bewley and Connor Mountain against Charles Wright and Matsui Janowski. Bit of edging there at the start when they go away, and it's a good one by Dan Bewley in red off the inside. It's Matsui Janowski in yellow around the outside, and Janowski's got the run round the outside there. Matsui Janowski going round Dan Bewley into bends 3 and 4, takes it wide off that fourth turn, and Matsui Janowski emerges just about in front of Dan Bewley. Will try back on the inside on turns 1 and 2. Mountain in third place, Charles Wright at the back. Well, Janowski has been short on race wins since coming back to the UK with the Oxford Spires, but this will do him the power of good if he can lead home Dan Bewley in heat 7. That was a really good ride on the first lap or so to make it round the outside, and the Polish former world number 3 has the advantage. Dan Bewley in second place. The third spot is with Conor Mountain, doing a good solid job once again for Bellevue at reserve, because he's got that third place over Charles Wright, who's ridden for Bellevue in the recent campaigns, but Charles Wright can't quite get to Conor Mountain, or can he on that second turn? Mountain again covering him off up the back straight for the final time, and it will be an impressive ride from Matsej Magic Janoski to win heat 7 over Dan Bewley, and the third place goes to Conor Mountain, and once again that is a shared heat. Oxford doing the job here, keeping this meeting nice and tight. Bellevue have been running away in recent weeks. It's now 22 points to 20.
After 7 heats, it's all level pegging here in Sheffield, 21 points apiece. It's the start of a huge summer of sport on Eurosport and Discovery Plus. We've got every stage live with the Giro d'Italia, which is on now until the 26th of May. Also coincides with Roland Garros, the French Open, which begins on the 20th of May. And Paris, of course, is bidding farewell to the king of clay, Rafa Nadal. The 24 Hours of Le Mans returns on the 15th of June. 2 weeks later, we turn our attention to the 111th edition of the Tour de France, with Mark Cavendish looking to make history. We've got Wimbledon, and then we round off the summer with the Paris Olympic Games, which starts on the 26th of July. And of course, we've got loads of speedway as well. And tonight, we've got 2 meetings taking place. Dave Rowe, what's the latest from Bellevue?
And a good close meeting at the National Speedway Stadium, because Bellevue not being allowed to race away. And watch out for the rider in yellow here in heat 7, Matsej Janoski, who's been struggling for race wins in the UK since returning. Well, here he is going round Dan Bewley around turns 3 and 4 to come through for an excellent win for the Oxford Spires, who were 4 points down after heat 4, but they pegged a couple of points back in heat 5 with a 4-2 from Rowan Tungate and Eric Riss, split by Ben Cook. Couple of shared races since then, so a really close contest developing at the halfway stage. 7 heats gone. It's Bellevue 22, Oxford 20.
Yeah, and back here at Sheffield, one man who's been in great form is Dan Thompson. The commentary boys have been speaking about him a little bit earlier on, and he really is riding with a very mature head on his shoulders this year. He's had a couple of great battles tonight. Started off in gate 1, or race 1, should I say here. It was actually off gate 1, makes a great start there. Does well to kind of try and muscle Jack Holder out, but after that, Kyle Howarth is all over him, and we know what Kyle Howarth is all about. But Dan Thompson here is riding very, very maturely. He just rides so cleverly, and here with Josh Pickering behind him. Josh is all over him like a rash, and Josh is a very, very forceful rider, but Dan Thompson just rides his own race, composed. You can see he's not looking over his shoulder. Josh Pickering is all over him on the outside, trying to go wide. He'll come back up the inside of him now, and down this back straight, you can hear the pressure. You feel the rider coming up on the inside of it. Dan Thompson doesn't fall under pressures, and he's about to go out in heat 8 here in the white. It's going to be a big race. It's very, very close for the boys. It's off the outside gate, which has been working. Kyle Howarth called it earlier when they had the gate choice that gate 3 does not work early on. It's not working great tonight at all, so gate 4 could be advantageous. There's 2 teams interlocked. It's all square. We'll hand back to commentary duo, and they can take it from here.
Thank you very much, Scott. Yes, young Dan is doing a fine job, and his dad is there alongside him this evening. I'm sure he's proud as punch, but you're right also, Scotty, that there's nothing to choose between these 2 teams. I would suggest that Simon Stead, looking at his team, will need a little bit more from reserve. They've had 4 rides between the 2 of them. They've only scored 1 point. That's something they need to resolve, really.
Yeah, at the moment, you look at it, and Sheffield look more top-heavy, and Ipswich got a little more strength in depth. So, yeah, if Simon can get something out of those reserves, then they'll be in business.
Absolutely. Keenan Roux won his first ride, of course. He's reserved for Ipswich. But and they've picked up 6 points to the 1 point for the Sheffield Tigers. So we've got heat number 8 now. We're on board with Kyle Howarth, who's always action, so we'll keep an eye out for that. And will the deadlock be broken? It's remained equal right through from heat number 4. Line up for heat number 8, Andy. Dan Gilks will go from the inside in the blue helmet colour. Jordan Jenkins out of gate number 2 in yellow. Carl Howarth, gate number 3 in red. And Dan Thompson, who we've been talking about, will go from the outside in the white helmet colour. Young Dan, well, he's got a half sensible chance here because Carl Howarth out of gate number 3, you would suggest, is at a disadvantage. So an opportunity here for Thompson to hit the front and potentially for the Ipswich Witches to get an advantage.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens on the first bend here. Like you said, Dan's got a good chance here off gate 4. Gate 3 has been awful. He can get across Kyle, and it opens up the first corner for him. We'll see.
Indeed it does. As I say, Ipswich came here last year with an 18-point lead. It was almost over. Everybody saying it's theirs to lose, and as it turned out, it was. It was raining, it was a drizzly night, it was a dramatic night, and the Tigers came through. It's tight tonight, though. Ipswich have had a strong start to the season. We're taking an age to get going here. I don't know why. Come along, boys. Let's get settled down. Riders coming forward now. Young Dan Gilks on the inside. So we're on board with Carl Howard. He's coming out of gate number 3. Green light's on. Tapes are up. We're into the first corner. Young Dan Gilks has made a smashing start there, but the Ipswich Witches now coming through. Really good first corner there from Dan Thompson. Chop back to the inside, wheels in line, textbook stuff from him. Fires himself to the front. Gilks is in second place. Carl Howard, though, has missed out off of gate number 3.
Yeah, good start there from Gilks. Cut back on the first bend from Dan Thompson. And doesn't he look good tonight? He has improved so much, and he's key to this Ipswich side at the moment. Carl Howarth at the back, making no impression on the reserves at the moment, which is a surprise.
Tell you what, Jordan Jenkins is trying awfully hard in third place as well, but Gilks is just about hanging on there in second place, and he'll want to, because all of a sudden the deadlock will be broken if this is the way it finishes. We've got under a lap to go with Thompson looking good out in front. Gilks has now got a bit of breathing space over Jordan Jenkins. Can Howarth do anything about Jenkins? I don't think he can. And I tell you what, Dan Thompson with a stunning move in the first corner comes through in flying colours. Massive result for him and for the Witches, and they now lead again. 25 points to 23. The deadlock is finally broken at the halfway point tonight, and largely as a consequence of that move in the first corner.
Yeah, great move on the first bend there from Dan Thompson. Clever move to cut back and dive up the inside of Dan coming off the first bend. Really, really good ride. First time we've seen that tonight, that inside line used or a cutback used.
Indeed. So Dan Thompson, 3 points for him. Fine ride out in front. Dan Gilks hanging tough in second place. 2 points for him. Jordan Jenkins back in third place, 1 point. And Carl Howarth misses out in heat number 8. But let's see this again. This was a super first corner.
Yeah, keep your eye on Dan Thompson here from the outside. He makes a good start. That's him there in shot in white helmet. But Dan Gilks gets to the first corner first. He does what everyone else has been doing tonight. He moves to the outside. Maybe because the track was graded, the dirt line wasn't as sort of prominent as it was before. But Dan Thompson there, you can see he cuts back to the inside. He gets on that fresh dirt that not many people have used really around the inside and creeps up the inside of Dan Gilks. Great ride by him to force his way through. Here we go again. This is on board with Kyle Howarth. He makes a bad start from gate 3. Not a lot he can do about it. Everyone's been pulled from there tonight. And to be honest, from then on, I expected him to make more of an impression on Jenkins in third, but it's tough. The track's been graded. There aren't as many lines as there was, and he's eating dirt here. You can see he's just getting filled in. He's moved to the outside now. He's still just getting roost from the riders in front. As a rider in that position, it's tough to see. You're taking tear-offs. And the dirt slows you down as well, so he's up against it there.
Yeah, it was a tough ride. It looks like it's all sort of marbly on top of a firm surface, and as hard as Carl Howarth was trying, he just couldn't make an impact there. A really frustrating ride for the captain of the Tigers, but the reverse for Dan Thompson, who made that move early on. So 2 point lead now for the Ipswich Witches, and we've got big hitters out here in heat number 9. We've got 3 Australians. In actual fact, I'll go as far as to say we've got 4 Australians. So it's an Aussie Championship heat here in heat number 9. What a lineup it is. Heat number 9, the lineup for you. Off the inside in the blue helmet colour is Josh Pickering. Alongside him is Jason Doyle in the white helmet colour. Chris Holder from gate 3 in red, and Keenan Rue off the outside in yellow. Got to say, Doyle bounced back with a stunning win last time. He really did show a clean pair of heels to Jack Holder. Now, Chris Holder, unfortunately, may have just not fallen quite right for him. He's off gate number 3, and we've seen riders really struggling. So an opportunity for Doyle to win again.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. Well, it's going to be tough for the our previous sort of race winners here. They're on those middle gates. Neither have been good, 2 or 3. They've not been good, so it'll be tough for those 2 to get off there.
Pickering is in gate number 1, and he'll want to make it hard work for Doyle alongside him. He doesn't really respect reputations, Josh. He just races his motorbike as hard as he can. But Doyle is in fine form and won't want to drop points here. Just got their noses in front now, the Ipswich Witches, and they'll want to maintain that and try and keep pushing on if they can. As I say, it was a tough pill to swallow when they got beaten in the grand final here last year. This is an opportunity for a little bit of revenge. Riders coming forward now. Heat number 9. The Aussie Championship. Here we go. Green light is on. Tapes up and we're underway, and into the first corner it's Pickering. It's tight now, I've got to say. Terrific effort from Holder. How did Holder do that from gate number 3? Fantastic move from him. Round the outside comes Keenan Rue. He's in the dirt, but Pickering goes wide. Doyle's coming in there, nearly clouds his teammate. Now Rue comes through in his 2nd place. Stunning lap of opening speedway there.
Oh, what a ride for Chris Holder. What a start from gate 3. But now you've... What? I'm lost for words. A fantastic first lap.
Indeed it was, with Keenan Rue taking every advantage of Pickering running wide there. Doyle's out the back, he's trying awfully hard. Chris Holder has been an absolute hero. Nobody's done anything out of gate number 3, particularly on the run to the first corner, but he was there, got himself in the dirt. Here comes Pickering now. Pickering's come back up the inside of Keenan Rue. What a ride from him. Rue now trying to respond down the back straight. Just about there. One last blast through turns 3 and 4. Which way is it going to go? The run to the line. Pickering's got it. It's a 5-1 to the home team. They come back. Jason Doyle, despondent, just trudges over the line. But Chris Holder, what a night he's enjoying. He is really turning on the style here this evening. He's had 3 outings and 3 wins. And I think that win in particular will delight him when you consider how tough it's been to win from gate 3.
Oh, what a ride. I didn't see that coming at all. Fantastic gate from Chris Holder. It's been an absolute graveyard all night, and he's made the start, he's made the first bend his, and what a ride, and what a great ride from Pickering to get through into 2nd.
Yeah, really hard charging ride there from Josh Pickering to get the better of Keenan Rue. The result of heat number 9 is Holder out in front 3 points, 2 points for Josh Pickering. Keenan Rue just slipping back to 3rd place, and Jason Doyle surprisingly misses out in heat number 9, and now it's 28 points to 26 to the home team. Well, it's an exciting night.
Yeah, what a start from the Sheffield boys. Good start from Pickering on the inside. He stays low to allow Chris to run round him, but what that does is it gives Rue the chance to get into 2nd place. He passes him here, I think. He cuts back. Doyle almost comes through as well. He almost hits his teammate, and that actually stops Doyle as well.
Yeah.
And then after that, Pickering sets about after him. I think here he goes, dives up the inside. Really close, hard racing between the Aussies. You can guarantee that when the Aussies get together, you know there's going to be fireworks. And what a first couple of laps of Speedway. Great ride from Pickering to force his way up the inside of Keenan Rue and get 5-1 for Sheffield. There it is again, forcing his way up the inside, using that inside to his advantage. He moves over, he blocks Keenan Rue, and brilliant last lap of Speedway.
Yeah, it was a lovely race, and it was a typical good evening everybody. We are here, we are real, and we are at Owlerton tonight, and it's a terrific night of Speedway. Ollie alongside me enjoying it as well. 28 points to 26, and there's no doubt that it's put pressure back on the Ipswich Witches. Doyle will be smarting in the pits. He doesn't like dropping points like that. But this is a little bit of a leveller, with the starts being a touch unpredictable. You can see there, looking down there, how dry it is on that run to the first corner.
Yeah, if you look at gate 1, the 2 ruts that they're using are so far over, and it is very dry. Now are those... Maybe 2 and 3 aren't getting better, but maybe 1 and 4 are getting worse. They've been used up. The good spots have gone, and now we might start to see the gates even up, which is better for everyone.
Carl Houth will go from the inside in the blue helmet colour. Ryan Douglas, gate number 2 in yellow. Jack Holder, gate number 3 in red. And Adam Ellis from the outside in the white helmet colour. Can they do anything about it? Ellis and Douglas need to respond. Douglas hasn't gone quite as well as I would have thought he was going to. He'll be a touch disappointed with just a couple of points from 2 outings so far. But he's got a chance here now. It's off gate number 2. Got to say, Jack Holder will be a tough nut to crack. He's just seen his brother win from gate 3, and that's where Jack is now. So maybe some of the information has been passed on to Jack, because there's no doubt Chris Holder, a crafty Chris Holder, a wise Chris Holder, got the bike working beautifully to the first turn in that previous race. Here we go then, heat number 10. Away we are going, and once again it's tight into the first corner, around the outside. Here we go there. It's a fantastic effort from Adam Ellis with Jack Holder on the inside. That was really brave from Ellis. Down the back straight. Look how wide he's going. He's having to go almost on the air fence. Holder's coming at him really hard. Got to say that Howarth is back in third place, excuse me, with Ryan Douglas at the back. Douglas is coming on strong, trying to get round the outside, but Adam Ellis in front.
Yeah, Douglas at the back, he's working on it. He now switches to the inside, he dives up the inside of Howarth. Great move from him. He worked his speed up on the outside, he cut back, he dived through to the inside, and now at the front you've got Ellis in front. He's under pressure from Holder. Ellis is riding so wide, he's almost on the bottom of the fence.
Here we go then, one last lap to go. Jack Holder now coming on strong. Ellis has gone wide. Can Holder make it work on turn 2 of the final lap? Oh, it's tight, so very tight. Jack Holder has ridden fairly there. He's now hugging the inside, and he's done it. What a ride from Jack Holder. 2 races in one, with Ryan Douglas coming through into 3rd place to get the better of Carl Howarth. But Jack Holder just turning on the style there. Was not going to be denied, relentlessly charged down Adam Ellis. Ellis was brave, like a lion on the first lap, but Holder wouldn't be denied.
Yeah, great ride there from Jack Holder to force his way through, but it's worth pointing out, a very fair ride. He left Adam room, he could have nipped him against the fence, he didn't. Great ride, from great respect between the 2 riders there.
Can't disagree. Brilliant riding from Jack Holder. Speedway out of the top draw there for sure. Holder out in front, 3 points for him. Adam Ellis back in 2nd place, 2 points. Ryan Douglas coming through into 3rd, and Carl Howarth at the back. So it's a shared heat, so there's still just 2 points in it, 31 points to 29. Everything to race for.
Here we see it. Ellis from gate 4, from that favoured gate 4. He just gets to the dirt before Jack. And again, Jack's fair there. He gives him racing room to come around him. It's very, very good riding by him, respectful riding. And now you see Adam out on the bottom of the fence. He's going as wide as he can to try and pick up as much traction as possible. And Jack just wears him down. And here we see Ryan Douglas taking to that outside line. He's putting Carl Howarth under all sorts of pressure at the back. And here he is, he switches back to the inside, dive bombs Kyle into turn 1 and 2 there. It's not often you see a Sheffield rider get dive bombed like that.
Super stuff. Let's get some reaction very quickly with Abby and the Holders.
Jack, what a move there. Forceful, but as the guys in the commentary box were saying, fair as well on Adam Ellis.
Yeah, for sure. You know, plenty of laps at Sheffield that got me there, that's for sure. You know, the dirt's so wide out there, but, you know, there's a whole other bit of racetrack that no one's used. So, yeah, I just read him like a book, and, yeah, it's a good race.
And you and your bro riding so well. Chris just putting in an amazing performance from gate 3, which is up to this point has been a total graveyard.
Yeah, it always is, and there's a lot of pressure when we go to that gate. You know, we see who can get off at first, and, yeah, monkey see, monkey do.
Well, you got the win there, and now you've got 2 points. It's a close contest, Jack.
Yeah, Ipswich are, you know, are a very good team, and when the gates are like how they are, you know, we have a good run, and then, you know, we got to go off the bad ones too. So let's hope we just get it done before, you know, the last couple of heats.
Jack, thank you. Back to you guys.
Thanks very much, Abby. Good to hear from Jack Holder. I thought we might be hearing from his brother, but he's a little bit shy, I think. He's run off. Heat number 11, then the lineup for you is Emil Seifutenhoff will go from the inside in the white helmet colour. Ty Woofenden out of gate number 2 in red. Dan Thompson, who's having a great night, will go from gate number 3 in yellow, and Luke Colleen from the outside in blue. Big race for Woofenden here. Needs to keep it rolling. Can Emil Seifutenhoff get away? We haven't seen the best of Seifutenhoff so far this evening.
Yeah, huge ride for Woofy here. He needs a race win here. You don't want they don't want Ipswich getting back into this meeting now that they've got a lead. So, yeah, a lot of pressure on the big man here.
Emil Sayfutinov, it's a long time since he was last out. He was out in heat 5, and the track has dried considerably since then, and conditions have dried. He will have to have maintained dialogue with his teammates, because there's no doubt that setup changes will have happened.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, the track's completely changed now. Jack Holder showed that by making the inside work. We've seen cutbacks coming off the first bend. There was none of that going on to start off with.
Yeah, absolutely. So riders now coming forward. Woofenden's been flying tonight. Really has looked good. He's unbeaten. Chris Holder's unbeaten. Jack Holder has only dropped 1 point, and they've had to be that good because Ipswich are keeping it close. Here we go. Heat number 11, we're underway. Sayfutinov's made a fabulous start from gate number 1. Hugs the inside, his teammate comes through there. Dan Thompson. Thompson doing the business once again. Woofenden electing to go wide in the bottom corner. This time now, Sayfutinov's hit the front. Dan Thompson hanging on because Woofenden's coming on strong in third.
Yeah, Woofy using that outside line. He's got deep into turn 1 and 2. Oh, great ride around the outside, right around the bottom of the fence, getting past Dan Thompson. Emil Sayfutinov, he's in front, he's pulling clear. He looks great in front now.
This is the best we've seen from Emil Sayfutinov so far this evening. Look at him go on that turn. He's almost got his nose on the front mudguard as it comes off turn number 2. Woofenden's come nicely through into second place, but barring any drama, Sayfutinov's got this one. But Dan Thompson, importantly, is back in third place. That gives the Witches a heat advantage on this last lap. Sayfutinov flying out in front. This will be a big boost for him. Certainly Richie Hawkins, the team manager, will be delighted with that. And it's all square again. 33 points all. Nothing to choose between them. Will we have a last heat decider? It's looking very much like it, I must say. And that man, good to see him out front.
Yeah, great ride from him. Once he got fresh air, that was it. He was off. I mean, he looked brilliant, riding so wide, especially on turns 1 and 2, and just edging away lap after lap. But good ride from Woofy to get past young Dan Thompson to second.
Indeed it was. 3 points for Sayfutinov, 2 points for Ty Woofenden. Dan Thompson back in third, 1 point, and Luke Killeen missing out again in heat number 11.
Here we see from the start, Emil makes a great start from gate 1. Elects to keep it low on the first bend. I don't think there's any need to run as wide as the riders were early on. And now you see Ty Woofenden. He sets about Dan Thompson in second. He goes out to that outside. He's going so deep into the corner, into that deep dirt on the outside. You could see the bike hooking up there as it went in the deep dirt and flew around Dan Thompson. But it can't be underestimated, the importance of these points that Dan Thompson keeps picking up.
Thanks very much, Ollie. Let's get down to the pit area now, because Scotty is going to have a look, and his big brother, he's having a look at my men to watch how they're getting on. Take it away, Scotty.
Hi, Shalkev. Mate, you picked a couple of good ones, and what a cracker of a race they were in earlier on with, obviously, we're talking about Jack Holder and Adam Ellis. They were meant to watch. Adam Ellis obviously got a bit of a point to prove as he was let go from the Sheffield Tigers last season, and Jack Holder, well, he's kind of one of the men in form right now, isn't he? They're just over my shoulder, but what a race that was in Heat 10 between those two. From the start, Adam Ellis makes a decent start there off the outside in the white. He lets a bike run round the outside. Jack Holder gives him plenty of room, like you said in commentary, Calvert. It's a clean move from Jack Holder. He allows Adam Ellis to go there. But just on this pit turn here, Adam Ellis, early doors, he managed to have enough legs to get across Jack Holder and run him out. But Jack Holder is playing a little bit of cat and mouse with him. And Adam Ellis, the last lap here, just kind of runs out of steam. Jack Holder just forces up the inside of him. And that was where it went from there. Jack Holder, obviously he said in that interview afterwards that he knows his place inside out. But what a race between those two. Adam Ellis just goes a little bit wide here. Jack has a sneaky look over his shoulder. You can almost see there Adam Ellis, he's having a decent night, but possibly a little bit dejected with that last move. But he'll take a lot of comfort from that. And and Jack Holder just dropping the 1 point. It certainly is a fantastic night. Just it's a level right now, so over to you, Abby.
Scotty, thank you. Well, Adam Ellis and Jason Doyle were deep in conversation there, exchanging notes. There is nothing between these two sides. It is 33 all, 4 heats remaining. Remember, if you want to watch the action, go to Discovery Plus now, and that will be from Bellevue at the National Speedway Stadium between the Aces and Oxford Spires. We'll be back with the latter part of this meeting after this.
And back here in Manchester with 7 races complete. Bellevue leading Oxford by 22 points to 20, but Bellevue off to a fast start here in Heat 8 with Norwich Bladorn, who hasn't scored a point so far in the meeting, holding the advantage with his teammate Connor Bailey in second place. But the Oxford Spires working hard and battling hard throughout this meeting to try and keep themselves in touch. The spectacular style of Eric Riss round the outside in white coming through to split the Bellevue combination. And as Norwich Bladorn races out clear in front with Riss in second place, Ashton Belgian, the youngster in yellow for the Oxford Spires, also working hard to try and get back into the race himself, having not scored in his first 2 outings. And that's the moment there where Connor Bailey just gets a bit too close to Eric Riss. That allows the chance for Belgian to come through on the inside. He takes that chance, and Oxford share Heat 8 to leave it 25-23 after 8 races. Here's heat number 9 with Jamin Lidsey and Ben Cook against Chris Harris and Craig Cook. And it's Craig Cook trying to come across on the outside against Ben Cook, who shoots through on the inside there in blue and gets the advantage with Craig Cook in second. And Jamin Lidsey also pointless so far heading into this race, trying to drive through on the inside of Chris Harris. Tight out front with Craig Cook putting the pressure on Ben Cook, but Ben Cook in blue with the advantage. And there's Lidsey in red and Harris in white having a real scrap for third place. And Jamin Lidsey coming down the inside of Chris Harris, forcing him out wide on turns 3 and 4 and moving through into third place. The race win for Ben Cook over Craig Cook, with Lidsey in third place. Oxford edging a 4-2 out of heat 9, and they lead by 29 points to 25. Here we go with heat 10, Brady Kurtz and Norwich Bladorn against Charles Wright and Matsej Janowski, and a good start by Bladorn in blue, Kurtz in red trying to turn back inside both the Oxford riders. He's managed to take out Janowski there, but Charles Wright is round the outside in white into second place. So Bladorn here with the advantage, but here goes Charles Wright right round the boards off turn 4, covered off by Bladorn, with Brady Kurtz in full attention as well in third place, neck and neck for first and second. And Bladorn here still race leads for the Bellevue Aces, with Charles Wright in second and Brady Kurtz working on in third, trying to complete a flyway. Goes wide off the fourth turn, and through on the inside comes Matsej Janowski, and that could be a 3-3 rather than a 4-2, because Brady Kurtz, who has been so superb around this track in league matches so far this season, has gone to the back of heat 10 as Charles Wright and Matsej Janowski come through for what should be a 3-3. It's Bladorn out in front, looking to make it 2 rides and 2 wins after 2 previous last places. He has the advantage, but Charles Wright in second and Matsej Janowski in third, and they have seen off the threat of the home captain Brady Kurtz, and Oxford will battle on in this meeting. Bladorn wide off the final turn, race to the finishing line, he gets it. Bladorn is there with the win, and they lead by 32 points to 28. Heat number 11 gets underway, and a strong first bend with Rowan Tungate in white and Dan Bewley trying to turn back for the inside. That's very close indeed on the back straight, and Bewley goes surging through past Rowan Tungate, who tries to turn back off the fourth bend, and Tungate is back inside Bewley here. Oxford fight on as Tungate gets the lead from Bewley with Riss in third place. Oxford on a 4-2, and Bewley turns the power on back round the outside, and Bewley hits the front against Tungate, with Riss in third place over Connor Mountain. Bellevue certainly being given a tough job here tonight by this strong Oxford side, who know this track very well indeed, and the gap is currently 4 points between the two sides. Dan Bewley out in front in heat number 11, looking set for his first winning ride of the meeting. Second place is Tungate. Riss has done a really solid job in third, going for 6.7 after 4 rides, and we've certainly still got a meeting very much on our hands in Manchester with 4 races to go. Bewley has got the advantage after a good scrap with Rowan Tungate, but Riss in third place keeps Oxford very much in play. 11 gone, Bellevue 35, Oxford 31.
Welcome back to Sheffield. We knew this was going to be a tight contest tonight. Absolutely is. We've only got 4 heats remaining. At the moment, it's a deadlock. It is 33 apiece. We're joined by Scotty Nichols now, and I always say to get those questions in using the hashtag. Well, I can say, Scotty, first of all, because we promised it last time that we kept some of those questions over. Eddie Sturt said, you've raced for a few clubs.
Polite way of putting it.
Actually, sorry, I'm saying this is the wrong person. This is from Chris Bart Simpson. Which is a club that is closest to your heart?
Oh man, that's a good question actually. Obviously I'm from Ipswich, and that's where I'm born and bred, and you know, that's a team that's obviously close to my heart, but they're all special in a way. Coventry was a such a special time there, and obviously hopefully the resurgence of that. But they're all special in their own unique way. Got away with that, didn't I?
Diplomatic answer. I was about to say also that when you're guesting for certain teams as well at the start part of this season, does that mean that you've got an allegiance? I know you've got to be impartial when it comes to the reporting.
But they're different, all in different ways. I mean, whenever I guess for a team, I put 100% in because it's my name on the line. The team is irrelevant to a degree, but no, it's they're all kind of quite uniquely special.
Nice. From Ashley Willis, he says, when riders up at tapes, he's seen a couple of them tonight just squeezing the hands. I'm not sure what context this is in, but he said he's seen Jordan Jenkins for one.
Okay, yeah, we're not exactly sure what it means, but I'd imagine it's just to release a bit of tension, stretch your hands out, and sometimes it can just be like a little routine, just part of your little ritual, it's a bit of a habit, perhaps.
Yeah, well, we'll see if we can get a line on from Jordan on that. Last question then from Oscar. Who do you think will win the Grand Prix overall? He's given me a whole list of names. Doyley, Holder, Lambert, Lindgren, Schmarzlik.
Well, I mean, it's so hard to bet against Schmarzlik, isn't it? But, you know, it's great that we've got Doyley up there right now leading the way. Jack Holder's having a great season too. So it's nice that it's not so predictable.
Yeah, that's what we want. We want that also right the way to Torrens. Let's, to Torrens, shall I say? Get my words out. Let's head to Bellevue and to Davo.
Where Oxford have certainly come here with the intention of putting on a good show. 4 points down after heat 10 and heat number 11. We saw a fantastic battle between Rowan Tungate in white and Dan Bewley in red surging through on the inside. But Tungate, who has raced for Bellevue before, was not to give up here because he came charging back through on the inside off the fourth bend, only for Dan Bewley to hit back once more around the outside. A succession of shared races in this meeting. It's going to be close right down to the wire, you would fancy. Bewley there gets the advantage over Rowan Tungate, but 11 heats gone. It's Bellevue 35, Oxford 31.
Dave, thank you. We're down to the business end of this meeting now. Calvin, Ollie, which way is it going to go?
Difficult call, Abby. I fancied the home team, but Ipswich have come here and they've really meant business. When you consider that Ipswich haven't won here in a decade, this is a fabulous performance from them so far. Big races coming up. It will be nervous tension down there in the pit area, I'm sure. Vital league points on the line, of course. So heat number 12. Line up for you now. Keenan Rue from the inside in the yellow helmet colour. Chris Holder, who's riding beautifully tonight. He will go from gate number 2 in red. Gate number 3 in white is Adam Ellis, and off the outside is Dan Gilks in the blue helmet colour. Chris Holder has just performed miracles. He seemed to just buck the odds, didn't he, when he won that race from gate number 3?
He did indeed, and you'd have to say gate 2 is probably going to be similar conditions, so be interesting to see if he can do it again.
Chris Holder, who has ridden superbly well, he's won all 3 outings so far, would be favourite on paper here, potentially to win again. Simon Stead and Ty Wolfenden just locked in conversation there. As I say, Simon won't want to be beaten tonight. He'll want to win at home, that's for sure. That's where you really base your season on. You want to keep winning and keeping the points rolling in here at Owlerton. But Ipswich Witches, the leaders in the league, and you can see why. They've been a little up and down. When you consider their top men have had 2 last places, but they're still right there. It's a tough night for the home team.
Yeah, it is. Ipswich has got that strength in depth. That's the difference between the 2 sides at the moment. I think Sheffield looking top heavy and Ipswich with the strength in depth.
There we are. That's the way the teams have set up. Here they come forward now. Heat number 12. Let's race this once again. And then can he produce something a bit special this time, or will it be Keenan Rue on the inside? Tapes are up, very sharp. And look at that from Keenan Rue. Fabulous start from him. Chris Holder looking for a way through on the inside. No room there because Keenan Rue, who won a race earlier on tonight, it was heat number 2, it was a long time ago, he got away really nicely now. Will he be able to hang on in front? Because Holder has been going absolutely fabulous tonight. Adam Ellis is back in 3rd place. Here comes Holder on the inside, not quite enough room.
Yeah, great start there from Keenan Rue. Beat his Aussie teammate to the first bend, but he's had a great pressure now from Holder. Holder onto the outside. Is he going to do it? He moves to the outside on turn 1 and 2. Is the line there? Not quite. He's sticking to the outside. Can he do it? Round turn 3 and 4, round the outside. He'll now look to cut back and dive under him into turn 1.
Here they come. Somehow Chris Holder is still in second place. Keenan Rue has got a very, very wide motorbike. Right now, we're in the last lap. We've got half a lap to go. Chris Holder has ridden so well tonight. Will he be beaten for the first time? Keenan Rue off the last corner. He hangs on. What a ride from young Keenan Rue. Spectacular ride from him. And all of a sudden, with the 4-2, with Adam Ellis back in third place, the Ipswich Witches have got a 2-point lead. Nothing in it still, really, but what a race that was. Arguably the best race of the night. I thought for a moment that Holder had to get up the inside, but that man on screen had all the answers. Fabulous ride from him. Result of heat number 12. Keenan Rue out in front, 3 points. Chris Holder back in second place, 2 points for him. Adam Ellis back in third place, 1 point, and Dan Gilks misses out in heat number 12. Proper speedway here in heat number 12.
Yeah, great ride from Keenan Rue. Good start from gate 1. Chris chooses on the first bend to cut back and stick to the inside. Probably a wise move after a track grade. And then after that, he sets out after Keenan Rue. And like you said, at one point, I thought he had him. He built his speed up on the outside of him, then looked to cut back. There you can see Keenan's riding a really wide bike. He's got every line covered. Everywhere Chris went, Keenan blocked him. It was an intelligent ride by Keenan Rue there. You can see Chris there getting covered in dirt while he's trying to pass him.
Smashing ride from Keenan Rue. I tell you what, that's a real confidence-boosting ride to beat the class of Chris Holder, who threw the kitchen sink at him. Let's get down to Abby. She's with the winner.
Keenan, what was that heat like, just having Chris Holder breathing down your neck?
Yeah, it was a lot of hard work there. Chris was putting a lot of pressure on, so yeah, kept me on my toes. I had to make the right choice at the right times, but good to get one over him.
It was something interesting that Kelvin was saying, that he just needed a bigger motorbike because he was coming in the inside, chopping out, just going everywhere on that track, but just kept him at bay.
Yeah, very close one. It's a good race, and look up to him as a young kid, so it's good to do some battle with him on the track.
And it's only a couple of heats remaining. There's just 2 points in it. What's it like out there tonight?
Yeah, I think we always knew it was going to be a very hard meeting. Sheffield's a very strong team at home, and we're putting up a fight, so hopefully we can keep in it for the next few heats and hopefully nab one and get one on the end of the night.
But a different turn of the tide for Ipswich Witches, because they came good, obviously, at the latter part of last year, but just starting so well this season.
Yeah, we've started good this year. Of course, now it's early to tell, but we need to be strong in the end as well. But yeah, the team's working good together. We've got good team spirit, so hopefully we can keep it going.
Great performance there. Thank you, Keenan. Back to you guys.
Yeah, thanks very much, Abby. Good to hear from Keenan, who's had a couple of race wins tonight, but that one then was really impressive up against the big hitting Chris Holder. And it was a 4-2 to the Witches, and they go into heat 13 with a slender lead, 37 points to 35. What a lineup we got here, and this is when all of a sudden the return of some of the big stars to British Speedway, they're all congregate in heat 13. This is fabulous stuff.
Yeah, they do indeed. This could be LA final in any Grand Prix. Fantastic lineup for British Speedway.
Fantastic lineup we've got, there's no doubt about that. Heat number 13 then, Jack Holder will go from the inside in the red helmet colour. Emil Salfutinov alongside him. Gate number 2 in white, Ty Woofenden gate 3 in blue. Gate 4 in yellow is Jason Doyle, the World Championship leader. Second place equal with Bartosz Marslik. Jack Holder out of gate number 1, a Grand Prix winner just a few short weeks ago. A 3-time world champion in Ty Woofenden, and Emil Salfutinov, a 3-time European champion, a world number 3 previously. This is top class speedway in British Speedway here tonight. Riders just taking a little bit of extra time. Got to say, they'll want to get away. Nobody wants to run a last in this sort of race, do they, Ollie?
No, a lot of bragging rights on this one. Huge race for the big boys.
And Paco Castagna there in attendance. Good to see him here. Such a character, Paco. He's got the best moustache in Speedway, no doubt about that. Chris Louis keenly looking on, a little bit nervous. Can his team do it? It would be a fabulous result for the Witches if they can come here and lower the colours of the champions. This race could have an absolute decisive influence on the end result. 3 races to come, 13, 14, 15, but it might be 4. We might be treated to a superheat tonight. Who knows? It's been that tight throughout the evening. We've had 1 or 2 super heats already. In actual fact, they had a super heat here on Thursday where the Sheffield Tigers came out on top. Here we go, though. Heat number 13. What a racing prospect. The tapes are up into the first corner. Jack Holder gets there alongside him. Comes Jason Doyle around the outside. Doyle has gone. The red lights coming on. No, they're not. They are.
They're on.
Must have been a tapes infringement there or something not quite right. I saw the red light flash and then it kind of went off and I wasn't sure whether it was a mistake or not, but the race has been called to a halt. Clearly something unsatisfactory about the start of the race.
Yeah, we'll look at the 4 riders here to see if there's any movement, see if we can see why it was called back. All looks good to me. Yeah, I'm not sure why that's called back. You see anything?
Not really, no. I would say maybe Doyle made a little bit of a Doyle moved.
Yeah, a little
I don't
bit,
think he touched the tapes, but maybe it'll be all 4 back. And yeah, we're having it confirmed now that it will be all 4 back, and Jason Doyle will now have a warning. But he won the Grand Prix with a warning. He knows what that's all about. So he'll just have to sit still this time. A little frustrated, but you can see how loose the material is there. Possibly just a touch underwater tonight, but with the weather being so unpredictable these days, you can kind of understand that.
Yeah, you'd probably favour preparing the track a little bit on the dry side if there's any chance of there being any rain. So yeah, like you said, it does look a little bit dry. Having said that, Gate 4 does look like it's got more moisture than the rest. I mean, if you look at Gate 1 in particular, looks really dry there.
It does indeed. So here we go, second time of asking. Jason Doyle doing a bit of gardening there, just using the steel shoe to pack the dirt in the rut, trying to get the best launch away from the start as he possibly can. Line up once again for you. Jack Holder on the inside in red, Emil Saifutinov in white on gate number 2, Ty Wolfen on gate number 3 in blue, and Jason Doyle will go from the outside in the yellow helmet colour. I reiterate, this is a wonderful lineup, top class, no doubt about that. A great race to win, not so good if you don't score, but a great race to win. And in the context of the night, the Sheffield Tigers want to get a heat advantage. They want to keep it close. They won't want to be beaten here tonight. Tapes up. Away we go into the first corner. Look how tight it is. Emil Saifutinov somehow has got his nose in front. Round the outside in the blue helmet colour comes Ty Wolfen. What an effort from him. Got to say, Jason Doyle is in the thick of the action as well around the outside, with Saifutinov doing a fantastic job to allow his teammate pass with Jack Holder at the back. Wolfenden's away in front.
Yeah, great first bend from Ty Wolfenden to take the front. And you can see Emil in 3rd place there. Keep an eye on him. He's protected his teammate. The Ipswich boys are going to try and ride together to keep Jack Holder at the back. You'll see Emil will be checking his shoulder, he's keeping an eye on his teammate, and they will try and ride together to keep Jack at the back.
That's exactly what's going on. Emil Saifutinov has ridden really well there. He's allowed Doyle round, and Jack Holder, as hard as he tries, is trying to find a way through. He's elected to go very wide. He's got one last chance to have the back straight. Wolfenden is miles out in front. And this way, it's going to be a shared heat, and the Witches will still have a 2-point lead with 2 races to go, and that's exactly what's happened. Smart, clever racing there from Saifutinov to help Doyle through. Wolfenden brave as a lion coming off the first corner to fire himself to the front. But the Ipswich Witches hanging on to that slender lead. It's 40 points to 38. But Wolfenden in top form tonight.
Yeah, great start there from Ty Wolfenden off the unfavoured gate 3. Brilliant ride.
Brilliant stuff. Fantastic first turn from Ty Wolfenden. 3 points for him. Jason Doyle coming through into 2nd place. 1 point for Emil Saifutinov. And Jack Holder will be really furious about that, missing out in heat number 13. What a race.
Here we go from the start. Great start from Ty Wolfenden from gate 3. He moves out to that outside. He stops Doyle's run. And the key moment here is Emil knows Ty's in front. He then looks over his shoulder. He sees Doyle on the outside and elects to keep 2nd and 3rd as opposed to chasing down the win. Really clever. There you go. Great example of Emil looking for Jack Holder. There's nothing wrong with that. He did nothing wrong. It's just he's riding as a team. You can see he's helping his teammate. They're riding together. Emil's on the inside, Doyle on the outside, and there's no way through for Jack Holder. Great team riding.
Yeah, it was fabulous bit of riding, intelligent riding there, particularly when you've got such a classy performer like Jack Holder behind. Emil Saifutinov sacrificing second place for third, and in the process defending it and keeping it all square. And he was really a team player there, no question about that. This is a close one. Heat number 14 is with us, and we've got a couple of changes here. We've got Dan Gilks coming in for Luke Colleen for the home team. So we're a reserve switch there, and Jordan Jenkins is going to be replaced by Keenan Rue. And that isn't a surprise at all when you look at the performance from Keenan Rue so far tonight.
No, Ipswich using their strength in depth there.
Heat number 14 is with us. Ryan Douglas will go from the inside in the white helmet colour. The tack sub is Dan Gilks coming out of gate number 2 in blue. Another tack sub out of gate number 3 is Keenan Rue, and Josh Pickering off the outside. Massive moment now for the Sheffield Tigers. It's looking like it's going all the way tonight, but a 5-1 here, and all of a sudden the Ipswich Witches will clinch the win away from home. It really is that. All results are open, all results on the table, but right now the home team under massive pressure.
Yeah, and you have to say, looking at this ride, Ipswich looks like slightly stronger on paper.
Oh, I've got to go with that. Keenan Rue has been going great guns. Got to say, Ryan Douglas hasn't been at his best, but he has had speed, and this would be a very good time for him to win a race for his guest appearance here for the Ipswich Witches. But they've got a slender lead. They are in the driving seat, so for Josh Pickering, you just sense that Pickering with Gilks here, Pickering off the outside, he'll be brave. He'll really be brave, and he'll be looking for that big sweep around the outside if he doesn't quite get there. So, as I say, it's some very important times and tense times with the Ipswich Witches going so well tonight. Here we go then, 2 races to go, possibly, might be 3. Riders just taking their time. That just gives you an indication that it is a tense evening. Here we go then, heat number 14, 2 points in it, tapes are up, we're away. What a start there from the inside from Douglas. Here comes Pickering, round the outside, strutting his stuff. Gilks is in third place. Pickering, yes, he's done it. What a performance from him. He's come good just when he really needed it. Now Douglas switches right to the inside. Can he get his nose in front? He can't, because Pickering's there. Keenan Rue now, trying to get the better of Dan Gilks. Wow, that was a lovely move from Keenan Rue to come into third.
Yeah, great ride there by Keenan Rue at the back. He went into turn 1 deep, cut back past Dan Gilks. He's into third. Sheffield now on a 3-3. This won't be good enough to take the lead, but great ride for Pickering on the first bend to go on the outside of Douglas.
And they've needed it because his teammate has gone back to 4th place and no points there. This will mean that the Ipswich Witches will have a 2-point lead going into heat 15, so they are very much in ascendancy here. Pickering has done a great job for his team here. Douglas coming through in 2nd place. That looks the way it's going to be. It is. And that was a very important win there for Josh Pickering. Without that, it could have been all over. A 3-all, 43 points to 41. So just 2 points required for the Ipswiches in the last race. And it might go to a superheat as well, of course. But that man there, I was just said, Ty Wolfenden, we may well see him in heat 15 as well. But what a night of speedway we're witnessing here. The result of heat number 14 is Pickering. That was a terrific ride, a ride of character there. 3 points out in front. Ryan Douglas coming through in 2nd place. 2 points, Keenan Rue back in 3rd. And young Dan Gilks misses out. But this first corner from Pickering, absolutely vital for the Tigers.
Yeah, great first bend from Pickering. You see him in the red helmet there from gate 4. He heads straight out to the outside. Douglas is in no man's land there on the inside. The bike getting a lot of wheel spin. It allows Pickering to creep round the outside, and once he gets clear, really he's away. And then the battle at the back though is what's important. Keenan Rue goes round the outside of Dan Gilks. You see him here. He's on the outside. He's at the back. He comes in deep into turn 1. He now turns it back and dives under Dan Gilks. Great ride by him, and really important in the overall sort of context of the meeting.
Absolutely right. So all options are open for all results are on the table for heat number 15. The home team will need a 5-1 to win, Our 4-2 will see a super heat, a 3-all, and the Ipswich Witches will win. Right, let's get down to Abby once again.
Guys, thank you. Here in the pits, it is so tense. Chris Louis just nerves on edge. There's just 2 points in it. Ipswich have never won, well, haven't won here for 10 years, which is quite a stat. Sheffield just looking strong. Who is going to do it? Will it go to a super heat? Stay with us. We've got the big Heat 15 coming up.
Bellevue lead Oxford 35-31. Here is heat number 12, and it's Craig Cook off the inside in yellow, making a good start. He's forcing Jamin Lidsey in red out wide, and coming through on the inside, Charles Wright trying to make his way, but Lidsey almost gets down the inside into Ben 3. Craig Cook here with the advantage. Lidsey in second place trying to force through off the fourth turn, but Cook still leads here from Lidsey with Wright in third place, and Jamin Lidsey almost gets through on the inside, but Craig Cook holds a good line off turn 2 to hold him at bay, and Oxford currently hold a 4-2, which would cut the gap to just 2 points with 3 to go as Craig Cook still leads. Battle on for third place. Here comes Conor Bailey on Charles Wright, and Bellevue could yet square this race because Bailey comes through. That's a surprise, but Charles Wright trying to come back round him into the third bend. So Charles Wright does get back through into third place. They're back on a 4-2, although not for long because Jamin Lidsey down the inside there gets the better of Craig Cook. Cook tries to fight back on turn 2, but it's the lead being held now by Jamin Lidsey, who's not won a race so far tonight. This would be a good time to come up with one. Jamin Lidsey round turns 3 and 4 for a crucial victory in heat 12, maintaining a 4-point Bellevue lead. Heat number 13 gets underway, and Brady Kurtz in red trying to send the Oxford boys wide. In fact, they've sent themselves wide, and that's enabled Dan Bewley in blue to go through on the inside. Massive first 2 turns there. It did not go right for Rowan Tungate and Chris Harris. Tungate trying to fight back, but Brady Kurtz and Dan Bewley have that 1-2 situation for Bellevue. Crucial in the context of the meeting because Bellevue have been given such a tough meeting so far by Oxford, are finally making a big breakthrough in heat 13 as they cross the finishing line. Brady Kurtz and Dan Bewley put them 8 points in front. Craig Cook coming into heat 14 here for Oxford, replacing Ashton Belgian. Call it attack, sub-call it a reserve ride, call it whatever. It's his teammate Matt Sianowski who's got the advantage, but coming around the outside, Ben Cook, who's been in really good form so far tonight. Ben Cook has the lead with in second place Matt Sianowski. Connor Mountain in blue trying to make his way. He's got the better of Craig Cook for third place here, so Bellevue on a 4-2, and this tactical move for Oxford really not working out. Craig Cook coming into the race for Ashton Belgium, but finding himself at the back, and Bellevue are set to clinch victory here. The very impressive Ben Cook is out in front. Second place with Janowski, who's ridden strongly this evening, and the race on for third with Craig Cook in yellow trying to go around the outside. Every point could be crucial, bearing in mind the aggregate position and the return fixture coming up at Cowley next week, and Craig Cook retrieves third place, but Ben Cook out in front is going to see Bellevue through to another home victory here this evening, and they've just about seen off a very stubborn Oxford Spires challenge, and Ben Cook really finding the fast way around the National Speedway Stadium. He takes the win. Second place Matt Sianowski, third Craig Cook. It's a home win. 14 heats gone. Bellevue 46, Oxford 38.
Welcome back to Sheffield. Just 1 heat remaining. Well, 2 if we go to a super heat. Just 2 points in it. 41-43 at the moment. Ipswich Witches have got their noses in front. Just big team meeting there. What is Simon Stead saying to the boys? They are the defending champions, of course. It's a huge heat 15. And before that, we've got a huge fight this weekend. One of the biggest fights actually in heavyweight history. Tyson Fury goes head-to-head with Alexander Usyk, and it's this Saturday from 5 p.m. on TNT Sports box office. You've got Aussie Gold Hunters Quest Monday at 9. The Woodland Workshop Quest also starts on the 16th of May, and I can see Scott Nichols. He's got both of the managers there to get their picks for Heat 15.
Yeah, thanks, Abby. Definitely an awful lot of pressure in the pits, and what a night it's been so far. Rich, I'm going to come to you first. It's been a great night at Speedway. It's been 10 years since Ipswich had a victory here. Yeah, you boys doing well tonight.
Yeah, really well. We talked about that 10 years ago on parade and how that...
Is that a bit of a motivator for the boys?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, we talked more that everyone that night scored, and that's what we needed to do tonight, and that's what we've done. But yeah, it's a big heat for 15 coming up.
It has, but it's been a fantastic night at Speedway. I did speak to Jason Doyle earlier and said, when you go to a track where you've got a bit of an up and down record, you as a manager, do you speak to the boys or do anything any differently to a normal match?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, obviously we had big disappointment last time we were here, but, you know, at the moment we're doing really well, and everyone's happy and confident and the team's going good, so we're in a really good place. Good time to come here. But we'll see how this goes now, and you know, it's nice. You know, I think probably we're the two best teams in the league at the moment, and we're going to head-to-head early, and you know, that could carry on all season.
It is, and I know obviously the business end is in the playoffs, but certainly about some bragging rights and setting the stance out. Can you give me your runners and gate positions for Heat 15, please? Because you do have the choice.
Yeah, we picked 1 and 3, and Doyley's going to go off 1, and Emil off 3.
Okay, thanks a lot, Richie. Simon, I'm going to come to you. It's been a high-pressure meet. We know Ipswich have been in form, but did you think you'd be 2 down going into Heat 15?
I knew it was going to be in for a tough meeting, Scotty. You know, they're hurting after what happened last year. They've got a great team again, on paper certainly, and they brought it to us. And I think they've exploited and highlighted our weaknesses. And we've not been able to cope with that very well tonight. So I felt like we've been on the back foot a little bit all night, but you know, our heat leaders have kept us in it, yeah, all down to the wire.
Like I say, putting you on the spot a little bit, but where do you see the weakness right now tonight?
Well, obviously the reserves haven't performed as we'd have liked them to. You know, we had to draft somebody in at late notice, so we thank Luke for that. But you know, he's not performed at this level this evening, so that was disappointing. You know, Dan's struggling a little bit, but he's still recovering, and more meetings under his belt, the better he'll get. And Kyle's, you know, not going as we would have liked. But you know, there's all sorts of things going on, Scott. It's not easy. You've been there yourself. It's tough. You've got to ride yourself through it. You know, like I said, Ipswich have exploited our weaknesses tonight, and you know, we've still got a chance of winning it, so we'll go out with all guns blazing and see if we can get it done in Heat 15.
Definitely, you said earlier Heat leaders have kept you in the game. I'm sure a couple of those are going to be in Heat 15. Can you tell us which ones they're going to be and what gates, please?
Yeah, we're going to go with Chris Holder off gate 2, and we'll go for Ty Wuffenden in blue off 4.
Okay, thanks. So there you go. So the Witches go for gates 1 and 3. The Tigers turn 4. What a heat is going to be. Over to you, Abby.
Scotty, thank you. Well, we can't wait for Heat 15, but before that, Dave, what's happening in Manchester?
Well, Oxford have given Bellevue a real battle here. 4 points the gap, but this is the key one. Heat number 13 with Brady Kurtz in red taking the lead. Dan Bewley coming through in blue, and the Oxford boys both chasing the same line there. Rowan Tungate and Chris Harris, and Bellevue going clear for what effectively is the match-clinching 5-1 in Heat 13. Oxford did throw Craig Cook into Heat 14, but it was Ben Cook who took the victory there for a shared race. And after the good effort of Oxford to try and keep in contention, it's Bellevue's night here in Manchester with 14 gone. Bellevue 46, Oxford 38.
So here we go then, Heat 15. What a Heat 15 it is. Got to say that all results are on the table here. 3-3, and the Ipswich Witches will win. A 4-2, we'll have a super heat. A 5-1, a 4-2 to the Sheffield Tigers, and then we'll have a super heat. A 5-1 to the Sheffield Tigers, and they will win. So they need to get a heat advantage to keep this meeting alive. As I say, so pressure very much on the home team. Chris Holder, who's had a fabulous night, he's in here. He really has done the business. Heat number 15, the lineup for you. Jason Doyle from the inside in white. Chris Holder out of gate number 2 in blue. Emil Seifutin off gate number 3 in yellow. And Ty Wuffenden out of the outside gate in the red helmet colour. Wuffenden's only dropped a point so far this evening. Got to say that Chris Holder also has only dropped a point. Those two lads have ridden out of their skins tonight. But Emil Seifutinov and Jason Doyle, what a pairing they are.
Yeah, really tough pairing. Arguably one of the strongest in the leagues. But to be honest, this Heat 15 is one of the strongest lineups you'll see all year. So really looking forward to it.
Indeed we are. As I say, from the Ipswich perspective, if they can get one of their riders in front, and that's all they require. Whereas the home team, they are going to need a 4-2, a win and a third to go to a superheat, and both of them out in front and a big 5-1, and they will clinch a dramatic victory right at the last gasp. So this is fantastic. I must say, we're back on Eurosport, British Speedway, and we are having 2 last heat deciders in our first 2 broadcasts. Fantastic. And tonight we are seeing some superb speedway once again. This is a really top-class lineup as well, just for good measure. Riders now settling down. What a crucial moment of the evening. Right at the death here, takes her up and we're away. Doyle's made a fantastic start. Saifutinov is there round the outside. Woofenden trying hard. Woofenden's got there, but the Witches are in second and third, and that will be enough. Holder's going to have to do something from the back if they're going to want to continue on tonight. Woofenden's ridden superbly well, but Emil Saifutinov and Doyle, they will be awfully hard to pass.
Yeah, great start from Woofy. He's leading the race, but that doesn't matter. What matters here is that the Ipswich boys hold on to that second and third. You can see Emil in second place. He's looking for his teammate. They're riding together. They're going to try and block every move that Chris could make.
Yeah, Holder at this stage is just not being able to land a blow. This is going to be a famous victory here for the Ipswich Witches if they can hang on. Woofenden out in front, looking like he's going to be a race winner. But the 2 boys from Ipswich, this is all they need. It's one last blast down the back straight. And what a night it's been. Woofenden's been outstanding individually. But the Ipswich Witches take the win and the league points. What a night. 10 long years they've had to wait to come here to Owlerton to win, and they do it. And it's been nip and tuck throughout the evening, but when it came to the death, Emil Saifutinov and Jason Doyle had the composure. It's a brilliant first corner, I must say, from Ty Woofenden to hit the front. But Saifutinov and Doyle, they did the business in second and third, and they pick up the points.
Yeah, great team effort there from the Ipswich boys. As soon as Ty hit the front, you knew their game plan. They were going to defend that second and third place, get a drawn heat, and the match was theirs. But fantastic effort from Ty Woofenden. He's great to see him on this kind of form. 14 points, just dropped 1 point tonight, Ty Woofenden. And if he can replicate that sort of form in the World Championship, he'll be right back in it. 3 points, that is not correct. Ty Woofenden actually won the race. He didn't finish last, so it's Ty Woofenden won the race. He got 3 points. Emil Saifutinov second place. Jason Doyle 1 point. And Chris Holder, unfortunately, he missed out. Just a slight issue there. But the bottom line is, it's the night for the Witches. Let's see it again. Yeah, tight first bend there. Ty just makes it across from gate 4, gets into that dirt line, gets there first. He hits the front. And now you watch the Ipswich boys in second. You'll see Emil. Emil will look for his teammate. Emil's on the inside. He'll look over. He looks for Jason Doyle. They ride together. And really, if you're Chris Holder, Kelvin, you're at the back like that, what can you do?
Very little, because with 2 such quality performers in front of you, you know they're not going to make a mistake. Such a vital moment. I must say, this was a very tight end run to the first corner, but Woofenden got that bike working spot on.
He really did. I mean, the gates look slick tonight. They look dry, they look slick, and he had them hooking up, which is great to see, because I know he said, I think around at the Grand Prix at the weekend, he was struggling he was getting too much wheel spin. So maybe he kicks on from here, and we'll see a good Grand Prix at the weekend from him.
Indeed, super stuff. Great night of speedway with a last heat decider once again, and the Ipswich Witches coming through. Plenty of congratulations to them. As I say, it's a bit of a monkey off their back now, and who knows? It was a terrific night for them. So yeah, let's get down to Abby. She's got some more reaction, and we've got some decisions to make. Ollie, I haven't let you know, but we've got a rider of the night to choose.
Who are you going for, Ollie? I like that you two are nice and warm in that commentary box. I can tell you that the temperature has dropped here, but the racing has been red hot, hasn't it, guys?
It has. If anything, it's too hot in here.
Yeah, I know. I don't know how we've coped. It really has been quite a struggle. But,
so who's your rider of the night then, gentlemen?
For me, Dan Thompson. Brilliant night for him. He really was. he was picking up those important seconds and thirds and making sure that Ipswich got heat advantages, and really great night for him, and he's improved so much this year. It's great to see.
Yeah, and to come out of the rising berth and to make it in the main body of the team, that's no mean feat, is it? It's suddenly you're up against some strong competition, and he, like you said, he's really coming of age.
Absolutely right, you know, and I agree with Ollie on this. Dan Thompson has really made a big step forward, coming of age in lots of ways. And as I say, it's never easy, sometimes psychologically tough to come into the main body of the team, but that young man has done a great job and supported his team remarkably well tonight. So Dan Thompson, he's the man of the evening.
Gentlemen, thank you, and thank you for your commentary. Let's join Scotty Nichols now for the presentation then.
Yeah, thanks, Abby. I'm with Dan Thompson. Dan, not sure if you're aware, but you're the rider of the night tonight, Omologato rider of the night, chosen by Chris and Ollie, sorry about that. But you've been riding exceptionally well all season, and you've deservedly got that rider of the night tonight.
Yeah, no, I'm enjoying it. Obviously, we thought tonight was going to be a real tough night. Sheffield are the champions, and obviously they hurt us last year right at the end, took the title off us. So to come here and win tonight, and every rider of the team put in a good shift. So no, we're over the moon with that.
Definitely so, but what's been the big change over the winter? You're certainly a far superior rider than the rider you were last year.
Yeah, I've just sort of changed mentality with things, like I don't really care who I'm racing anymore. Just everyone's human, you just got to go out and race hard every race. And a few other changes equipment-wise, and been in the gym all winter, so it's starting to pay off for me.
Well, it certainly has. At that moment, I'm going to get Phil Morris to actually present you with the Omologato watch for the rider of the night. Well done. There you go. So,
Scotty, thank you. Scotty, I believe, has been in the gym all winter long as well. OK, we've got more analysis here in Sheffield, so stay with us, and we've got the final report from Bellevue too. See you soon.
P15 in Manchester, 46-38 in Bellevue's favour. Dan Bewley and Ben Cook against Matt Janowski and Rowan Tungate. Away they go. It's a good start by Janowski off the inside in white. Tungate holds the inside in yellow. He gets swamped though by the home duo around the outside in blue. Ben Cook, who's been superb, and Dan Bewley trying to join him on turns 3 and 4. He's ridden hard there by Janowski, but turning back there is Dan Bewley. Bewley superb back down the inside into lap 2, moves through into second place. Ben Cook out in front, looking set for a third successive win. Great battle on here for second place, with Dan Bewley there just squeezing out Matt Janowski into the third bend. And Bellevue have been forced into a tough meeting here this evening. Oxford kept it tight for long spells, just 2 and 4 points between the sides, but it's these big races, heats 13 and 15, as once again it's tight indeed between Dan Bewley and Matt Janowski. Bewley back around the outside, and after taking a 5-1 from Kurtz and Bewley in heat 13, it looks like Cook and Bewley are going to repeat the feat in heat 15, despite the best efforts here of Matt Janowski. Rowan Tungate out the back. How impressive has Ben Cook been, the former Peterborough rider? He has really got dialed in around the National Speedway Stadium. Ben Cook takes heat 15, second Dan Bewley, third place Matt Janowski, 51-39 to Bellevue. Let's get some reaction with the managers.
As the Oxford came here, really with a bit between their teeth. Obviously the weather coming in was a bit more of a level earlier on, but our boys dug deep at the end and sort of shone through. So to get a 12-point victory, I'm quite pleased with that.
We're a little bit disillusioned because we were, I think we were in control of the match. We were right in there with them, and it ran away with us in the last 3 heats. So, but the big guns had to sort of come to the party, and they did. And but overall, it was a good result for us here at the National Speedway Stadium, because it's always tough around here. So, a couple of the boys had a bit of a nightmare. Chris Bomber Harris, he normally goes well around here. He had all sorts of problems tonight, but I'm sure he'd get sorted. And now they've got to come to us with 12 down, and I'm sure, with the knowledge what we've got at home, we're probably going to give them a good run to return the favour.
And a superb performance tonight from Ben Cook, getting that Heat 15 nomination as well. 3 fabulous victories tonight.
Yeah, I think he earned that. Obviously Brady just dropped one solitary race, and he ate a lot of dirt in that particular race, and could have easily probably given it to him, because that, result in heat 13, it takes a lot, when guys go out and win heat 13. But Ben's just been steadily progressing, dialing this place in, and looks quite comfortable here now. And hopefully there's more improvement than still.
Mark Lemon correct to pinpoint the performance of Ben Cook. 13 points from 5 rides, superb from him. Dan Bewley 11, paid 14. Oxford was solid with Craig Cook scoring 8, paid 10. They only had 3 race winners. The tale of the tape, those 2 5-1s in each 13 and 15. Final score, Bellevue 51, Oxford 39.
The final score here in Sheffield has been a brilliant night of speedway, but after 10 years, Ipswich have got the win here in Sheffield, 44-46. Let's head to Manchester and get the final report from Dave Rowe.
Well, Bellevue really had to work for it here, but in the end, 5-1s in each 13 and 15 took them up to a 12-point margin. And Ben Cook, you'll see, out in front in heat 15 with Dan Bewley in second place. Ben Cook has been absolutely superb, scored 13 points from 5 rides. Bewley has scored 11, paid 14. Oxford was solid, they battled away. Craig Cook scored 8, paid 10, but they only had 3 race winners. And Bellevue, as I say, pulled themselves clear in the closing stages. They march on, they are very strong at home once again this season. Final score in Manchester, Bellevue 8 is 51, Oxford Spires 39.
And after the action this evening, this is what the table reads like. Ipswich Witches 15, Bellevue 13, Sheffield Tigers on 9, Leicester Lions on 9 as well in 4th. In 5th it's Oxford on 9, Birmingham Brummies. They've raced more meetings than anyone else. It's crunch time for them. They're on 3, and Kings Lynn round out the bottom of the table. Scotty Nichols now with Ty Wifton. Only dropped a point tonight. Surely he's going to be a happy camper.
We'll soon find out, Abby. Ty, Abby just said there, you're a happy camper, you only dropped the 1 point, but sadly it wasn't enough for the Tigers.
Yeah, look, it doesn't matter if I drop some or not. We wasn't there. Ipswich are much better than us tonight. And don't know when the new averages are coming out, but I reckon the boys might have to make some changes,
Was it a surprise to you that Ipswich came here strong? I know they're a strong team. You're going to say you're not surprised, but given their track record here, they haven't won here for 10 years.
Oh, well, it's nice that they got that. The league on the way up is okay to get an L, but as long as it doesn't happen at the end of the year.
And how were conditions out there? Obviously, the rain was threatening today. It's getting pretty stormy now, but were they different to normal? Is there anything you can kind of use as an excuse, or are you just beaten by a better team?
Nah, beaten by a better team for sure. The track, the first meeting we did here was a little bit wet. The next one was a little bit dry. Tonight they put a little bit of dirt on, which is what we was all chasing, what we all wanted for them to do. So the track was perfect, how we wanted it. So definitely no excuses. And Steady and the Bates family need to make some choices.
Well, it seems there's choices, not just gate choices and one and another like that, but it's nonetheless, it was a great night speedway for the television, but sadly for you boys, it was a night to forget.
Yeah, on to the next.
Certainly on to next interview as well. Back to you, Abby.
Scotty, thank you. Well, some real honest stuff from Ty, just saying that, despite his performance, just beaten by a better side this evening, Emil.
Yeah, I'm happy I beat him one time today. So, yeah, I'm really happy that we won today, and that was a tough meeting, especially for me, because I started the meeting from zero. So I still not there what I like. So I hope that I try to fix it and find something better, and we'll be feeling more happy.
Emil, we were with Calvin before we came on air this evening, and Calvin was quite strong. He was like, come on, you were so brilliant. You were the man of the year last year. Is it the starts? Is it something else? And you were just like, you're making changes, you're working on equipment. What more do you think needs to happen for you, Emil?
Yeah, I think Kevin is he's right, because like he said, from beginning of season, I still have some problem, and we just try to walking around what has happened, but we don't know yet. So we just hope we find something, like I said, and I will be feeling the same speed, and so and still I did some points, but I think sometimes that's not enough, and I want like more speed and to working with the bike, is together, and so I hope that's coming soon, and we'll be okay. So, but important to know is things team is today's win, and that's some another points going to us.
Yeah. And Ipswich have been so strong for the start of this season, and a really important win here considering what happened in the Premiership final. Some amazing team riding between you and Jason as well.
Yeah, so we just try to keep it that, and for sure that important things will be when this playoffs coming, and we try to get the final, and there it will be some different play, and that will be a different story, So it's I hope we try to keep our performance, and like I said, it's even will be better. It's like myself and Jason also, is we getting more points to the team.
And Emil, just away from league riding at the moment, and we turn our attention to the Grand Prix, I know so many people would love to see you in it. In terms of riding against some of these Grand Prix riders in the Extraliga and just knowing your form, should you be there?
I think, it's that's tough question, and I think just everyone want to try to be there, but...
Would you like to be?
For sure, it's like I will, but it's sometimes it's if will be that opportunity, I need to sit and think it's not just myself, with the family first and my team, to thinking what we need. Is that's what we have. That's enough, or we just try to thinking to back to the Grand Prix. For sure, is that's. Actually, I'm start to be tired, because everyone talking about back to the Grand Prix, but nothing happened. It's nothing. That's try to. For me, it's it's better stop talking about that, and I think that's I try to be concentrate about my team in Polish league and UK, so into Ipswich. So that's important thing for me for that moment, and we'll see. When is like I said, when is opportunity coming to. Or inviting to come to a Grand Prix again, and then just we sit, and for sure we try to thinking, is positive, and I'll let you know.
We'll be the first to ask you. Emil, thank you so much for your honesty, and thank you this evening. Stay with us here because we have got more questions and more interviews. See you soon. Welcome back to Sheffield. The final score this evening, 44-46 to Ipswich, which is a brilliant night of speedway. A reminder of all the sport coming your way. It includes cycling. The Giro d'Italia is stage 10 for them, and you can watch that at 11:30 live on Eurosport 1 tomorrow. Mountain Bike World Cup, see that this weekend, Sunday at 11:45, also Eurosport 2. And then the French Open, 26th of May to the 9th of June, and it's live on Eurosport. And Scott Nicholls is joined by Josh Pickering.
Indeed I am. Thank you, Abby. Josh, tough night for the Tigers. Mate, we know you're an out-and-out racer. You put 100% in every time, but how frustrating is it when it just doesn't go to plan?
Yeah, it is. It's, as you know yourself, fellow racer, when you do work it all out as hard as you can and it's not good enough, it is a bit disheartening. But credit to Ipswich tonight. They were the better team through the 1 to 7, and that's the reason why they become victory tonight. We
talk about home track advantages and things a lot. Sheffield does have a great home track advantage, and it's always a tough track to come to as the opposition, but we're talking just off air a little bit, but how frustrating and kind of mentally challenging is it when things are not going to plan?
Yeah, for sure, mate. It does make things a bit difficult, and the season quite, like we can't, there's no complaints as in it's well underway now. We were here on Thursday, we're back here again tonight. Unfortunately, the track has not been 100% the same every time, which when you're an away rider, sometimes you can just set it up for what you see, and then when you're a home rider, you're always going off what you worked last time, and that's where I found myself. I lost a couple of races early on and then made a few changes and then finished with a paid win and a win. And for me, I feel like I'm kicking myself, and if I was to get going a little bit quicker, then the score could have been a bit different. But unfortunately, it wasn't a night to be, and we can all go off from here, reset and have a think about things, I suppose, and go to Kings Lynn with a positive attitude to try and do the job there.
But yeah, I've got to do that, mate. I appreciate the honesty and chatting to us. Thank you very much. Abby, take it away.
Scott, thank you. Joined by Adam Ellis. Adam, what's it like to get the victory over your former club?
Good, very good. Yeah, I think it's nice. First time here this year, and to come away with a win is awesome. Nail-biting finish, so yeah, tough meeting tonight. They've got a really strong team, so I'm happy to come away with a win.
And a nail-biting Heat 10 that included you and Jack Holder.
Yeah, I knew I was running out of legs a little bit out wide. I kept going wider and wider, and by the last lap, felt like I ran out of room a bit. So no, it's nice to have some good, clean racing. I think if it had been anyone else, he'd have probably put me through the fence down the straight a few times. So it was, yeah, it was a good race. Would have been better if I'd have won it.
The team spirit in the camp must be so high, though, because Ipswich just topping the table, but just seemed to be a real 1 to 7 strong unit.
Yeah, it's really good team spirit. I think that's come from Chris and Richie Hawkins. You know, they're good guys and easy to talk to, easy to have fun with, and you know, it goes from our 1 to 7. We're all mates, and all try and help each other whenever we can, and you know, you can tell on track and in the pits as well.
Adam, thank you, and that'll be a nice journey home tonight. Congratulations on the win. Just remind you, we'll be back in action in a couple of weeks' time on British Speedway. Leicester Lions against Oxford Shires. That's on the 27th of May. British Superbikes are in Donington Park this weekend. We're in Landshut in the south of Germany for the Speedway Grand Prix Round 3, and MotoGP are in Barcelona, Grand Prix of Catalonia, 24th to the 26th of May. Scott Nicholls joins us now. Scotty, another great meeting.
It was fantastic. Another last seat decider, and I'm glad you kind of asked Adam about the team spirit, and he commented on that, because obviously they didn't see it on air, but just before those gate choices for Heat 15, the Sheffield camp were unsettled. You could see there's a good team spirit there, but the pressure was there. The Ipswich boys were just kind of walking around, and you know, they had kind of already done their job at that point, but yeah, it's quite interesting to see how the power can shift so quickly.
And really interesting that, you know, considering what Ty did at the weekend in Warsaw and Croatia, when he only picked up a point, and then you thought, right, he's been just in sparkling form tonight. Not happy though, because he's like, you know, we need to make some changes perhaps.
It is, but you know, we're human. You know, Josh gave a very honest account there. It's you know, riders can blame the track easily, but the track changes a little bit, and Sheffield's one of those tracks where when you've got it dialed in, you're almost unstoppable, and it's such a fine line. I mean, you know, when you're walking around the pits, you see the boys making those changes. Emil struggled early on, and it can be such a small change, can make such a big difference, and then mentally that's just such a huge knock-on effect.
Yeah. But for Ipswich Witches, they wanted that win.
Oh, they did.
Especially after
10 years,
October.
it's been a while.
It's been a while. It has been 10 years, and they wanted revenge after that Premiership final in October, but they are flying high. We'll next be in action in Leicester in 2 weeks' time. See you then.